Better. There we go. There we go. All right, all I said, I didn't say much. I said good morning, team. Hope you're doing well. Lots to go over today. NVIDIA earnings tonight. And we'll get into it. All right, weekly. Currently, we swept previous week low, come back inside. All right, we haven't completed the mean reversion, but we're trading inside the previous week's candle. So, first indication, chop. Secondly, all right, second indication, daily. We are opening up inside bar. Another indication of chop, all right, after slowly breaking down. We can see on the daily, this level here is very, very, very important, all right? This is an SBR level. You can see we found support there, we found support there, we found support there, we found support there. It became resistance this week. We traded into it yesterday, became resistance again, and we're coming into it again. All right, so it's a huge level, and you will notice we're trading between the 5-day and 20-day. All right, this is often where we build liquidity out for the decision move which comes afterwards, which is exactly what we're doing. All right, so we're watching this kind of level here into sort of 150, maybe all the way up into 200 today. It's going to become important, as we know. It's been important before, it will continue to be important. Okay, moving into lower time frames. All right, hourly, let's just focus on this one to start. All right, our objective this week, we talked about this last week. Our first objective this week was probably to be a seller from here to here. All right, that objective has happened. All right, we did that objective yesterday. We completed the short this week from here to here, and then we were looking longs from here, probably for the rotation back up. All right, some of you got those yesterday. They were very good, weren't they? Any of you who tried to fight me, well, you probably got very hurt, because that was an almighty squeeze out yesterday. Why? Because the sellers were caught at the lows. So what do we do? What do we know? We still know sellers are caught down here. All right, that's a fact. We saw it on the tape yesterday. We're in a rotation of the Lewis Hamilton trade right now. All right, we are box to box in that trade. Okay, box to box in that trade. What matters now is what happens here. Like we said, we've got some resistance up here. Now, if we're going to stay pinned in for earnings, then we will remain in between these levels, won't we? And we will keep doing this and building out a ton of liquidity for them to use later, probably after the bell on earnings. If we're going to price in earnings early and they're looking for a beat, and the market has like some bullish sentiment and we have some positive news, then there's two things we're looking for. Either a hold of previous day's value area high and previous week's value area low, which will mean a trade back inside of previous week's value, which will mean this is not accepted. This is what we talked about before. This would be a look below and fail. If we can base above here, this becomes available. All right, so that is a trade, right? The dip trades are going to take place basically near where we're opening, if they really want to do this, or potentially back into point of control, which is not the most fun area to trade off, but we can see we've got resistance, support. All right, this level here, 29,000. So it's either going to be a push at the open or a little pullback and a push from here. The problem with this is if they want to pull back to this POC, and then they fail to reclaim 29,100s, we then have a failure to get above value, and this becomes available. So you have to understand the difference here. The cleanest move with the worst entry actually is going to be a buy from here for a squeeze up. The harder move is going to be buying point of control and hoping we then do this move here, because the danger is that they do this, or even worse, you bid on that and they go, nah, we're coming back down because we're in this. All right, so that's the play today. Indication right now, I'd say, is that it's going to at least try and move higher. If we look at the 5 minute, you can see we've held the key level overnight. All right, these levels here, put wall 1, high volume, point of control, previous day value area low. There was no acceptance under previous day value area low overnight. They bid on it. As soon as they came into it in Asia, they bid on it, set a higher low, and up we went. All right, that's probably the easiest trade in the book you will get for Globex. All right, wash down, there you go, thanks very much, and there you go. So you go value area low to value area high. You get a full day's rotation in Globex. I mean, it's about as clean as it gets. What worries me is this. Have we run any of these stops? No. So it's very possible they run some of the stops, 50% move and then go. And again, like we said, it will struggle because we are struggling at Cool Wall 1. We are struggling at value. At the moment, we're struggling at this grey box. So we have to be aware of everything. Where's everything gone? There it is. Okay, let's go through all the other stuff so we can put it all together. All right, moving into a 5-minute. And we're going to go through all the other indexes. ES, it's the same story here on ES. You can see we're trading inside of yesterday. We actually peaked outside of yesterday's New York. We're coming back down in. This is your key level, 73900. Ideally, they hold above that for you. All right, 400 would be a much easier hold. You can see they've got the calls on ES much higher. This is your high volume node. So if dips hold 90s this morning, VWAP and the high volume level of gamma exposure, if they hold 90s, you're looking for that move. Again, you need to be careful because if they push and fail, you're going to get this. So I would be careful on this first move from 90s. You probably, if they hold it, you want to be taking a little bit profit out for 10 points here and then see if they find acceptance above. If they're unwilling to hold it, this is your rotation again, just like they've shown you numerous times. But we have stops here to aim for if they're ready to get going. Big if, but that's what they have available. It's the same story on SPY, obviously. All right, on SPY, exactly the same. Cool down here at 735. We're gapping over it. We're in positive gamma, which is a buy, dip, sell, rip kind of thing. So this is what we're looking for. If they build out here, it's the same thing. All right, if they lose this, again, if they dip down into 35s and then they sell 36s, you go into a rotation here for a bit. And then if they lose 35s, we go into a deeper rotation. Right, Qs, same story. Yeah, exactly the same story. You can see there's the box. We're coming into the next box. All right, so can they find acceptance here? Or do they need to do a nasty flush and then go back up? I don't know. We're about to find out. Crude gapping down a little bit. All right. Some of you asking, please, can you go over crude more? Okay, here you go. This is why I don't bother with it normally, because this is all we do. All right. Back to the midpoint. If crude finds a bid here, back to the upside, pressure on the market. If it doesn't, and it comes down to the bottom side of this and lets go of the ones, or you can call it ones or twos, but if it lets go and comes down back into sub 100, then obviously the market starts to lift. Okay, VIX. All right, chopping around in between these boxes. Nothing's changed. All right, so I'm not really paying too much attention to that. What is interesting is we have just put in a load of options levels up here. Maybe it will come on eventually. Wakey, wakey. You going to do it for us, TradingView? Well, I can tell you, there's a ton of options levels above. There you go. So 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Interesting that 24 is the second highest right now. So they're expecting some volatility. All right, MAG. I'm going to get through this quickly. Apple opening up inside. All right, absolutely nothing to do there. That is an ugly chart. That is a leave alone chart. Amazon. All right, trying to push back after a big wash yesterday. We can see here's the key level on Amazon, 61. Okay, so if they fail to reclaim 61, back down we come. And then you have to see, are they going to make a higher low and have another attempt? 61 is your level. Why? It's because it's where everyone got stuck and we flushed down from. But we are gapping up. All depends how we at there. Goog, that looks awful. That looks absolutely awful. That is not good. All right, so that's done the Amazon move and sold, and we're building out liquidity here. And if they break, well, they're going to break away to the downside. Meta, that again looks awful. These the MAG is not looking good right now. All right, we're into an interesting area, but you know, clear rejections here, building out liquidity. The downside pressure can continue here until they reclaim 05s. Doesn't look good in MAG world, to tell you that much. Microsoft, again, that looks awful. This is the first time I'm looking at these is with you. That looks terrible, folks. All right, that really looks terrible. So same story here, 17s. You stay heavy at 17s, you get downside pressure. I think we're going to see a huge divergence here as soon as I get SOXL up. NVIDIA, there you go. Strength from the chips. Surprise, surprise, all right. NVIDIA's trying to reclaim this, all right, SBR level. 225s, you might as well call it 225. So if they can hold dips into sort of 23s, reclaim 25s, it can get going for the upside squeeze for pricing that in early ahead of earnings. If it keeps rejecting 25s, it stays in its 2-day range, which is right here. Oh, my drawings have gone, which is right here. How are we doing for time? We're okay. Tesla, well, it's on the comeback train. You can say that much. It's recovered 400. You need dips to hold this level here, 405, and you know what it really needs to get over, 420. It seems a bit far away right now, but that's your big level. It's always your big level for whatever reason. That's the big level. So let's see if Tesla holds dips this morning. That looks a bit better than some of the others. This is going to be the big one, as we always talk about. SOXL. Right, extending its move pre-market. It's very clear, isn't it? Do chips hold this put ball at 60 and start grinding up after that big squeeze up yesterday, and they held, look at that, the RBS. Can they do the same here, or do they need to come back down and test 52 again? I don't know. But chips look much more bullish than the mag that we just went over, don't they? Much, much, much more bullish. So that's what we're looking at really today. AMD getting going. Let's just check out some of the quantum names quickly. IRN, IONQ, gapping up but needs a breakout. MVTS getting going after that news. Gapping up, looking good. Rigetti, not so good, still inside. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't feel like today is the day to be uber risk on right now, given the divergence again and given the earnings coming tonight. Oh my gosh. Where's my mouse gone? Here we go. We do have news today as well. Not a lot, but there is some news coming later. Is it minutes today? Am I making that up? I'm sure it's minutes today. Yeah, minutes today at 2. So FOMC minutes at 2. They won't move the market a lot, but what will be interesting, we know they had a split decision. It'd be interesting to see what's said. Okay, here comes the fail. So open coming up here in 50 seconds. We're going to be watching this level here to see if they find a bid down here. It's really that simple. And if they don't find a bid down there, then, well, we can flush all the way back down, I guess. We have to see what we do on the chips versus mag, basically, see what the divergence is. All right, folks, so we're going to be watching to see if they hold dips or not. Here comes the open. 20 seconds, folks. Good luck, everyone. And you know what I'm looking for. Going to see if we flush down and hold those dips, or if we reclaim value. It's not going to be the cleanest and easiest to trade at the open, I don't think. There we go. 2 seconds. Instant reclaim of value. Do they fail up here in value? And do they flush down here now? Okay, failing value, reclaimed it, failed it. Maybe we come back down now. We will see. ES moving lower, coming into its key level. NQ holding up. Chips look strong. What are we doing here on the Qs? Stuck under that 707 right now. Break of 707 on Qs probably sends it. Okay, starting to reclaim here. They're probably going to look for the highs now. So we'll see if we can join in long now for the squeeze. Here we go. Nice. Really nice. Can we add some more for more squeeze? Can I get a little bit greedy here for a continuation? Want to be careful of these 140s, peeling some off. And it's got to hold 100 now, otherwise I cut the rest because I don't want to get caught in a flush back down after failing that cool wall one at 140. But if we get over 140, I think there's a squeeze on. That's the 165 level we need to take out on SOXL. It's back into 140. Hopefully we get the break and squeeze out and take out the pre-market highs here. Nope, struggling. Sellers defending well there. Okay. If we don't hold hundreds, I'll take the rest off, which is fine. Big sellers coming in here, getting absorbed. I'm coming for 140 again. SOXL not quite at the 165s. I've sized right down now, folks, because we're chopping around. I was positioned for the squeeze. We can always get back in for more of a squeeze if it goes through the 140s, but we're not doing that right now. Sellers are defending. A major divergence. ES coming right down to its VWAP and the 390 level we talked about. So the divergence is huge here. Just to make it hard. Yeah, ES breaking down, like we said. This 735 on SPY is key. If ES and SPY find a bid right here, then we probably send it on the Qs. If they start losing this bid into VWAP and these big cool walls, we probably see a gigantic flush. Here we go. Here's the 40 test. Can we break through? Can we break through? Can we break through? No. Can we break through? Here we go. There they go. All right, let's see how much we can get here. Hopefully we can come and take this out and then get moving for the day. But I've paid myself no matter what. We just have to see what happens now, folks. Nice bid on ES off that level. Come on. Can you stop fanning around, please? Don't want to lose the 40s now. Don't like that. Really don't like that out. Not going to hold on beyond it. They're going to have another go now. All right, let's see. The divergence is going to make this extra hard. I will watch again to see if they hold 20s here. QQQ at that 707. We've got to break through these 40s. QQQ's got to break 707. SOXL's got to break 165. Otherwise, this whole thing gets flushed out. So I'm out now. I was long for that break up through 40s, which we got. I'm on the 5-minute chart. I'm sorry, folks. Sorry. I mean, it's fine. It's the opening anyway. Right, we'll see if we hold 120s now. Am I out now? Yeah, I'm flat now. Had a go at it. Wasn't holding well enough for me at 40s. And with the divergence of what we're seeing, if you look at SOXL, we've just failed 165. They're coming back for it again now. So if we break 165 on SOXL, we get going for the day if ES finds a bid with it. But at the moment, we're not seeing that. They're having another attempt here. We're pinned. It feels like we're pinned in. It doesn't feel like it's going to go at the moment. They've got to hold these sort of 30s to 20s, and it doesn't look great. I'm going to be honest with you. ES starting to break back down, so not too keen at the moment. There you go. There's a breakdown. Yeah, ES letting go. Divergence at play. That cool wall held. Nothing to do now. The week might come right back in now that it's lost it. So just going to be patient here, see if they hold value or not. If they don't hold value, we're going to rotate right back down to 29,000. And the chop will continue, be another choppy morning if we do that. ES weak. There you go, stuck at that wall. Stuck at that wall. This is possible now. Here it comes. ES about to close its gap. SOXL, look at that move. Right back down to its put wall. So 5-point rotation here, happening very, very quick. And if we can't reclaim value here, then we're going to go back down to previous week point of control. Is that previous week? I don't think that is previous week. I've got marked there. Current week. Here it comes. They're losing the bid. They're in trouble. And we've got NinjaTrader crash again. Hello, NinjaTrader. Wakey, wakey. Is that 5 days in a row now? What has gone on here? Oh, that's all right. It's just SIDI. I'm not even using SIDI anymore. Don't care about your alerts. Okay, still looking okay for this move down into here. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to wait now and see how we act at 94s. ES about to close its gap. Oh, go away, SIDI. I don't even use you. Go away. Firing alerts on my screen. Okay, not quite getting down to our level. Getting very close. Coming a bit short of it again, which isn't fun. Can we get into the level and then see if there's a bid? Otherwise, there's no short to take here after they got stuck at the highs, and there's no long to take here. And we are boxed in the chips. We're really boxed in the chips. And that's going to keep us tight all day. So we might just stay in chop all day if that's the case. Until we get earnings tonight. Here come the bids. Here's the attempt at the reclaim. Here's New York Open. Do they sell this? This is the important level now. If they reclaim this and reclaim value, they're going to go back up again, which would be hilarious. Is there a way to trade this now if they're going to absolutely send it? I don't know. There's the rejection. Okay, should have taken the short there. Fuck me, they're moving this quick. I'm going to just wait for this to settle for a second. It's a strong rejection of New York Open there. But there are sellers caught right now at the lows at 29,030. SIDI, go away. What is this? Why am I getting alerts? Is there a window open? I can't see. There is. Okay, you can be closed. There we go. Let's refresh this as well. What is that line? We're having tech issues this morning. It's always fun. Can we get rid of that yellow line? There we go. That's better. Okay, so selling out of here. If they can't hold this right now, we're going to flush all the way down to here. And that will be dependent on if they fail to hold the 160s on SOXL. So we're just ping-ponging between 165, 160s at the moment, and that's what matters at the moment. ES didn't quite close the gap. NQ's nowhere near closing the gap, so we've got relative strength. And arguably there's a short here right now. This is what we talked about pre-market. Arguably there's a short here, but we've just come very, very close and found a bid. So I'm going to let this build out here for a minute before I make a decision. I feel better about being long on reclaims today than I do in trying to trade down here at the moment. But we'll see. No, I'm not going to live from video earnings. Why would I trade? Anyone that trades like the NQ on NVIDIA earnings, you're absolutely mad. You're playing low liquidity on just like options plays. Like, why bother? I don't get where your edge comes from. What, you want to play an 8% swing? That can happen in a second. All right, here come the reclaim. So if we reclaim value, I will have another stab at this, but not until then. And we are ping-ponging. We're coming back up for the 165 on those chips again. So let's see. Here's the 100 test. If we start breaking this and basing above, I will have another go at that long that we had a go at this morning. We will see. Big level here for them to make a decision on. Here they go, starting to get above it. So we're coming into value area high for the session 120. Please don't go without me, because I've ignored all your chop. Don't you fucking dare go without me now. Need to see this pull back and hold 100 now. You have to laugh. All we can do is laugh at this point. All right, 165 tapped on the chips. Can they hold the break above it? At the moment, no. We're looking for 100 for this to come back in towards 100 to buy a dip here and then accelerate through the 140s and get going. Please. Okay, here we come, watching to see how we hold up here. We're still pinned in on the chips. It's a good dip. All right, I've put some risk on there versus 100. They have to hold this. If they flush back down, Alex is going to take a loss here. Can't hold the New York Open. I'll be out. You dirty bastard. This is the New York Open. You've got to hold this for me. Come on. Don't like that rejection. Sizing down here in case. There we go. Get back above it. Come on, chips. You got to go for me. I've sized right down. Seller coming in here versus point of control. We need to get back above all of this. Oh, this looks ugly. Can we just break away and then I can feel good about adding back in? It's a good response. If ES can get back above New York Open, that will help. But we didn't close the gap there. I don't like that on ES. That means it's got a reason to go lower still. And we need SPY to get back above VWAP, which we're currently stuck at the SPY. We're stuck at the same point in the QQQ. It can't get over the 707 or the VWAP. We did get over 65 on the semis, and then we came back inside. So we're still holding this right now versus New York Open. If we start to base here, I'll start to add into this again. Right, I'm adding again here. Put some more size on. See if we get this 140 break. Got to get through point of control, otherwise I'm going to get washed out. Come on, mate. You just added all that liquidity there. I see you on the book. Don't fuck me over. Come on. Back down to my average now. We're ping-pong on. I just want to see this lift 140 and I'll take some size off and then re-add above if we can. I don't like that we're getting stuck here in my core position. My core position now is at 104s, which we're now under. Oh my God, what is that? Big seller there got absorbed. Come on. Come on, here you go. Go on, lift it now, please. You've done enough buggering around. I'm sizing down again there. They should have gone there through the 120s and they didn't. So I've just sized down again. Down to 1. They're playing silly buggers today. They are absorbing. Every big seller under 100 is getting absorbed. It's just making it hard for me to hold size. So I've sized down again. Thanks, love. We'll see if we can go here. But we keep getting stuck at 120. Once we get through the 140, it's go time. SOXL's breaking out now. This should be going. We should be going here. We should be going here. Here we go, finally. Jesus Christ, they made that hard. Okay, so hopefully we can hold over 140 and start to really get going now because the chips are breaking out like we talked about. Here we go. Thank goodness for that. All right, opening range now set. Let's see if we can start really pushing. We're going to try and attack previous day high 88 and previous week close 232s. Those are our targets for upside. So red line and then up here and then ideally all the way up here. Sorry, folks, they made that hard today. What can I say? It's not every day's easy and clean. But we're off. We're off to the upside. Up, up, up we go. So you can peel some off here if you want into the opening range. I'm trying to hold to see if we can get up to 190 and above. We need to hold 40s now. Or to be honest, we need to hold this edge here, 20s. I do not want SOXL to lose this bid at 165 after breaking out. Seriously, come on. Come on. I haven't been paid yet. Come on. Come on, up we go. We're not finished yet. Can we go and complete the auction, please? Come on, good hold, SOXL. Thank you for playing ball. All right, now break out to the upside. Come on. Come on. Let's finish. There. Good, 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 good. Go, go, go. Let's get previous day high at least. Let's go. We're going for this red line, ideally. There's so much liquidity above to clear out. Like, we should go and do it. I'm not really sure why we're taking so long. There we go. Thank you. Fuck me. All right, TP1 hit. Bang! Thank you very much. Okay, so TP1 hit, and now we're going to see if we get up here. Sorry, guys, I know that took a minute, but you're welcome. It took a second to shake out. This is what happens. Ahaha! We're away. All right, so TP1 hit. We want to hold this opening range now, 150s. So that's actually almost 100 points here. If you bid down here with me on the reclaim, they made it a bit tricky. But the bid on the reclaim, that's almost 100 points for you. Took a minute. I know it took a minute. It was messy. It was choppy. Well, we have huge divergence. And look at ES now getting going. Oh my God, like a rocket ship once it got through its VWAP and its New York Open. We're away now, folks. We're away. So we're in positive gamma. We're through the key levels. We should be looking to buy dips here. All the time the semis are willing to hold on. So next level for SOXL is the 170. That's its big call today. So we'd like to see us extend up into that. We really want to hold here at 55s. I don't want this to come back down to point of control. Let me just make sure I might measure this to the wrong one. There we go. We don't really want it to come back down to POC. We'd like to hold 55s here. Next time faster, please. Yes, it would be nice, wouldn't it? I mean, I don't hear they were buggering around so much, and then look, when it went, it went. It just didn't make sense that they were waiting so long there. There was so much liquidity on the book to come and drive out, honestly. There was a ton for it to go and chase, so at least we got there. At least we hit our TPs, and we just see now. There's a dip buyers down at 150 right now. They might want to come and test. SOXL is holding its print above 65, which is good. If you're watching a 5-minute chart, we just look good. It's a breakout, RBS, 165 retest, dips held. Can we go to 170 now? That's the only question. Here comes the dips into 50s, so 50s and 45s. We want to hold this. If they can't hold this, you probably don't want to be involved in it. I don't really want to see this come back down to the mid again. Don't really want to see this on the runners, if I'm honest. I want to see this hold here. So far, so good. I'd like this player at 45 to walk up. And I'd like these guys at 25s and 30s to stop flashing bids down there, because that's not going to help us to hold the runner. So here's the 45. I'd really like him to walk up now. No, these guys at 30s and 20s are going to be arseholes. I'm done with it for a minute. These guys flashing the book down here. Big rejection on ES. SOXL back underneath. So the chop continues. I'm not going to bid the midpoint of this range. It feels far too risky to bid the midpoint of this range. So I'll just wait now, see if there's a recovery. There's the POC check. If there's a recovery, I'll think about getting re-involved. They're trying to recover now. So I tell you, that was all down to so much liquidity being flashed down at POC, literally saying, come and get me, come and get me, come and get me. And they were like, all right then, here we go. Got ya. So now we see if they reclaim 50s here and start to base, I'll think about getting involved again. Where's my Arsenal gear? Well, I wore a lot of it yesterday, and I'll be wearing my home shirt at the weekend, going on the piss for sure. And if you didn't know, we're #1, baby. Champions. Champione, champione. Happy days. Be humbler, Mr. Butler himself. Be humble. I know some of you are City fans watching this. Well, shut your gob. Eat humble pie for once. Okay, losing POC. Back down to value. If we lose value, again, if we lose these value areas, there's a rotation back down to here, which we haven't seen yet, which is starting to take place. That is a big sell. That is a very aggressive sell. What are you doing today, market? Other than chopping. Glad we locked in there. Not seeing any news. I just think this is chips positioning for earnings. What are these swings? Yeah, I know. The ATR is high. The ATR is high. Big aggressive buyers coming in down there, which is doesn't fill me with confidence, to be honest, that we're not going to break lower. That auction doesn't look great. So we just have to see. I mean, I don't want to get short around here. We'd have to break away and start to reject. We're not seeing that, but I'm telling you in here, it's been all buying. There's a passive seller on the tape trying to walk lower after a very aggressive player. I'm not really interested in rebidding this unless we get back over 50s. I'm not going to get caught in this. We're still inside the opening range, right? And like I said, I don't think this is done selling. Here you go. They're going to try again. There is a buyer that keeps like coming into the market, but like they're not completing rotations. ES held its VWAP. Where are the Qs? We're just inside pre-market. Better to just leave this alone at the moment. We've had that first play out. I think for now, just leave it alone. If we rebase over 150, we can think about 150. Yeah, 150, 160, we can think about what we're going to do. But for now, we are holding value, but I just don't want to get chopped to death. We've had one nice play. Let everyone else pay to get chopped. And if we start to base above here, then we can think about getting re-involved. Because this is like the Globex level, right? And we keep failing up here. We got to get above this grey box and hold, basically. Right, so here's value. This is previous day's value area high, previous week value area low. We're trying to understand, we're trying to get back inside the previous week's value right now. Right, we are trying to turn this sell into an H1 buy, which means getting back inside of this, which means all these sellers would be trapped. That's the game right now that they're trying to play. That's why it's a battle. It's like, can they hold this to get up here? Remember, this is our target. That's why this is so low. I think it's supposed to be higher. If they can't get back inside, if they keep poking inside a value and failing and poking inside a value and failing, it means sellers are defending this and the rotation will be here, here, and here. So I think like let them, we've bought that dip this morning, all right? We bought the reclaim here for that move. We're now stuck in this grey box. This is a high volume node. In high volume nodes, we will chop. So that's what I'm saying. Let's wait for us to prove ourselves. If we're really thinking long, all right, let's wait for us to prove ourselves, get above this now and go. Otherwise, if they chop this and then they keep rejecting previous week's value, this becomes available. And I'm telling you on the book, there's very, very big buyers who keep marketing in here. And that's not what you want to see. That's telling me that we're probably going to auction lower. So take with that what you want. Going for a swim? There. No worries. You're still in short from 180, stop loss 300, target 670. Well, I assume that's a swing because you're asking for a 700-point move here. Okay, here's the resell. So if we start losing value, they will target this and then this. And we can think about the short there, I guess. It's tricky. It's going to be a tricky one to take. ES is now holding up. Mate, they've made this very hard to take. The divergence is huge. Absolutely huge. Here's VWAP. Lots of liquidity lower to clean out. They're trying to fill all these guys. I don't think I want to trade it. I know I said I'd think about this short for the rotation, but for me, it's very scary looking at ES basing above New York Open and VWAP and SOXL trading midpoint of its range right now. It doesn't fill me with confidence right now to try and slam this short for a failure inside of value to trade lower. It might well work, but I don't look at the charts, think, yep, that's where we're going right now. It's possible, like if you guys want it, I'm not going to take it. It's possible that they reject this and go for this. I don't like what I'm seeing. Oh, my aircon's on. Let me turn my aircon off. I don't like what I'm seeing over on the other names. So if you're looking for a breakdown, all right, let's just think about this. Semis, all right, broke out, are still possibly putting in a higher low here and a back at V1. These can start climbing out. Remember, over 65, they have squeeze potential up here. You see what I'm talking about? I don't like the look of that to be thinking short on the Qs right now. That's the big thing. And I don't like the look of ES to be thinking short on the Qs either. Here's the reclaim attempt again. They might just need to chop around here. If we think about ES, all right, it's holding a higher low above VWAP, above the New York Open, above the flow zones. If they keep holding this, they can look for this break. All right, we're not seeing weakness down here. So for me, seeing those divergences keeps me away from looking short here right now. Even if it works out, I'd rather understand what's going on and be like, well, I'm not going to take that because I don't like what I'm seeing. The worst case scenario is I don't make money. The best case scenario is I don't take a losing trade because it doesn't feel like a good risk on trade here for me. I think just for me, I'm going to let it shake out. If you guys want to take that, like I said, it's up to you. If you guys want to get short here, 100, your TP would be 29,015 and then a gap fill 29,023. If you want to take that, you can. You absolutely can take that. I feel like I might have moved. Previous week POC. Sorry, folks, give me a second. 2980. Yeah, move that one. 2980. There we go. Avoiding the chop right now. That's the game right now. Avoiding the chop. It might be that we chop all day. Remember, we did this yesterday. Why short instead of long here? Well, I'm not long here. But if you were going to be short here, it would be because of what we said pre-market. All right, here's value. If you deem this as a rejection of value and they keep getting stuck here and they say, hey, you're not coming back inside of previous week's value, then the rotation is to current week's point of control, gap fill, and gamma. Right? I'm not taking the short here. I've made that very, very clear. But if that is a legitimate setup, if you deem this as basically a look inside and a fail, then this will happen. But for me, I'm not taking it. I've just given you the reasons why I'm not taking it. But I understand those who might be looking to play that. We did talk about it pre-market. I'm just not seeing failures on the semiconductors right now, which say to me, okay, we're going to wash. And if we look at the mag today, equally weighted, just about green. Tesla 1.37% up, Nvidia 0.68% up, Microsoft 1.10% down, Meta 0.5% down, Google 0.33% down, Amazon 0.80% up, Apple 0.37% up. Mixed bag on the mag as well. So no real clear direction in the mag. And I'd say direction in the semis right now is looking like a breakout. It wants to hold 65 and squeeze, but they're going to make it hard. So at the moment, I'm flat. We made that first trade money. Now we just wait. When you're trading right inside your opening range, we are boxed in on absolutely everything right now. Boxed in, boxed inside this. Why has this started being stupid now as well? we go. Trump's talking. Is he ready? I don't see anything. Where's he talking? I don't see anything. It was like 20 minutes ago. Yeah, I see those comments. Those were like 20 minutes ago, though, saying like Netanyahu would do whatever I want him to do, which is a hilarious thing to say. And that he's in no rush for Iran. So just waiting now, folks. I know it's boring. This is part of trading. Sometimes you've just got to wait. One hour bull flagging. I mean, not really, mate. Not really. It's holding current week POC, but you know, that's a look inside previous week and failure. It's just, I don't call that a bull flag. Like, I would just call that chop. Right? If we just have a look at what you're talking about. All right, this is not a bull flag, is it? Look at that. Does that look like a bull flag to you? It doesn't look like a bull flag to me. All right, higher highs, lower lows. That's chop. All right, a bull flag would be lower highs, lower lows versus a pivot and a break. That's not what we're seeing. Okay, so if you took that short, it's looking all right. It's looking all right. Your target's really, you want it to stay heavy under the New York Open now, into VWAP, and you want to try and get down into this and this. If you took this short here that we talked about, that's what you want. But like I said, for me, I'm not going to touch it because the chips are holding on and basing above 165. It feels very, very dangerous to get short here all the time. The chips are doing that, so I'm ignoring it. FOMC, look, it's not FOMC, okay? It's minutes. So many people say, it's FOMC today. It's not. We don't have FOMC every week. It's minutes. It's FOMC minutes. It's very, very, very different. I know some of you will be getting bored and you'll be like, oh, I'm going to watch another YouTube streamer now and see what he's doing and try and trade what. I tell you what, if a YouTube streamer is clicking buttons right now, they're going to get you murdered. Right? Just learn to sit still. We can talk about something else. We can talk about how amazing Arsenal are if you want. If you lot want to talk about that, we might do the triple this year. We might do the triple this year. You know, we might do a double this weekend if Spurs lose and West Ham win. That would be a double. And then if we win the Champions League, that would be a triple. I will rub that in my family's face because they're all Spurs supporters. Look at this chop. North London forever. Whatever the weather. These streets are our own. Yeah. All right, ES breaking down into its lows of day or near the lows of day. And semi's trying to break out through the high of day. You can see the problem here, all right? So ES trying to break down under here. Semi's trying to break out over here. Q's heavily weighted in semis, all right? Whereas ES not heavily weighted in semis. So we have divergence at play. Just look at this day, all right? What kind of profile is that? It's a D-shaped profile, all right? It's one of those. What are we doing in the current week? We zoom out, maybe go to 15-minute. All right, we are D shape. All right, so we got a D in a D under a D. It's not fun. There ain't no P's in here, brother. There's no P's and no B's in here. This is D's on D's. Dicks on dicks, baby. Not what I want to touch. That's how I think about that. No, thank you very much. You love double D's. Nice juicy pair of doubles. Right, trading into the low end range of the day. ES finding a bid there again. Again, SOXL is still bidding over 165, looking for a breakout right now. I mean, it ain't fun out here right now, folks. This ain't fun. I'm not looking at this thinking, yes, I can't wait to click a button right now. This looks like garbage to me. I'm going to see if they go for some reclaims and start to show strength in the market, we can think about getting back in. So chopping back to POC, we're between the two VWAPs again. 24-hour VWAP, New York VWAP, we're stuck between the two. Really, we've got to get back above all of this to have a sign of strength right now. And they're trying to defend these value areas. There are sellers here. See if we squeeze them out and then base above, and then we can talk. If we do that, we can talk about what might set up. Look at that. New high of day on SOXL. Surprise, surprise. Ain't no one surprised about that. It's why we didn't take the short. Remember, it's why I said I'm going to ignore the short. New high of day, SOXL. If that thing is trying to base above 65 to get to 170. That's what I'm very aware of. It's where I'm not taking a short here because we are printing higher on the chip names. Exactly, SOXL breakout. That's exactly it. Small caps near higher day. I don't watch small caps. They got bugger all to do with what we're trading here. So if you're trading RTY, sure, but I'm not watching those. So here's the 100. This is where sellers are trying to defend these value areas. Look at this squeeze on SOXL. ES back to VWAP. Can it get through its 24-hour VWAP? Can we get any form of alignment here today is the question. SOXL looks like it just wants to rip faces here, honestly. It looks like it wants 170. I'm kind of surprised it hasn't really shoved up and gone with the divergence. There's the 100 hold. This is where sellers are trying to defend. They're trying to defend value. There's the fail from value. Here's the chop continuation. This is fun, isn't it? Here comes a big seller. We come back down to the New York Open again. They're still protecting under the New York Open for now. ES coming down to low of day, finding a buyer down there for a moment. I would assume it's going to try and fill its gap here on ES, seeing as how weak it's been. What's going on? Well, we're building out liquidity. You guys have been very, very spoiled thinking that every day is going to move 300, 400, 500 points on a trend. We did the same yesterday. We don't just move up, okay? You have to look left. You have to see what's going on looking left. We have big, big events after hours tonight, all right? Huge event. Biggest stock in the market has its earnings after hours. That stock is Nvidia. That stock is a semiconductor. We've done a huge pump the last 30, 40 days on the strength of semiconductors. All right. So we're positioning for that. We're not going to go into giant trend for it. So we have divergence because the rest of the market, if we look at the breadth, we always talk about this. Let me get this back up again. All right. You're going to see semis up and the rest of the market down. All right, what's really green? Semis, all right? This in here, these. These, look how green those are. What's not green? Defensive, communications, all right? Some of these, broader market, software, getting hammered. When we bid on chips, we sell software. When we bid on software, we sell chips. It's just how it goes. All right, so we're seeing broader market, flat and red. Semiconductors, very, very green. All right, including AMD, MU, INTC, which are big, big participants in the queues. So we have divergence at play. All right, again, we talked about this at the beginning of the day. The move we wanted this week were twofold. We wanted the sell into here, which was the naked POC, which is now gone. And then we wanted the bid. If you remember yesterday, I talked about the bid from here to 900 to 29,000 and to 29 ones. All right, we've done that move. So this can catch a bid on the RBS, or we can fail and do the full rotation and stay in this box. We talked about it pre-market, right? We talked about it pre-market. Do not get in this environment where you think the market has to move, you know, aggressively in one direction all the time. Just because it's done that for a bit, it cannot do that forever. It cannot do that forever. At some point, it has to calm down and reset, and that's what we're seeing today. All right, so if you did take that short, here's your TP1 into current week point of control. If you get a flush under here, we can close the gap. ES is about to close its gap, by the way. And we're back inside of 165 on the semis. They're starting to lose a bid for a little bit. So congrats if you did take that. It's working out for you. I didn't take it. I gave you the reasons why I wasn't going to take it. Like I said, the worst case scenario, I miss a trade. Bothered. Absolutely bothered about missing a trade. I'd rather be protecting my capital in choppy days. Okay, so we are now inside previous day's value and failing previous week's value. So technically, we're in a sell now versus this. Oh, God. Versus this for a rotation. So if they reject this, you're technically looking for this. And if they come under here, you're looking for this. If we reclaim this, this will be a gigantic squeeze. That's the play right now. ES filled its gap. All right, ES just filled its gap. NQ nowhere near a gap fill. So see how they react here in this drive up to VWAP. Up. And if they sell it or not. Look at that fucking massive response. Off the POC. They went, fuck you. All right, so if they base above here, again, this is the same play. This is where you just sold from. If they base above here, we get long. I cannot get long until they base above that. So ES filled its gap. We hit the current week POC, and then we went, no way. And the semis went, no way, hold my beer. Hold my fucking beer. So we'll see now. If dips start to hold the hundreds, we can think about getting involved again, because this is the same play as earlier. So if we start to break out and hold above, yeah, 100, we can think about dips, but not before. We've got to let this calm down because we're very thin on the book here all of a sudden. So I'm going to assume there's some news flying around. Very, very thin. Look how dark this book is. There's nothing going on right now. Got to be something breaking. I haven't seen it yet. Still very thin. No one's on the book. There's a few players at 112, 125, 150, and a buyer at 900, and there's nothing in between right now. Bit concerned about that. We're starting to see it hold, though. I just want to see some liquidity come back on the book, and I'll try and get long here. Can we get some liquidity on the book? No one wants to play right now, which is a bit concerning. There's a huge vacuum. I want to get long, but I don't want to risk 100 points. I'm waiting to see if some players come back. Hello, anybody? Does anyone want to come back on the book? What is going on? There's got to be some news event. No one's on the book right now. I really want to get long at 100 here. Here they come. Players starting to come back on the book now. Okay, here they come for the squeeze. So let's see. This was the same play we were looking for earlier. So we'll see now. We're back up towards the opening range high. If they hold dips into 100, I will consider getting long here. And there's a player trying to look at the same thing as me. I don't like that under 100 there is a massive gap. Thanks, Lawrence. Nice, nice, nice. Appreciate you. Here comes the squeeze through to 140. I really want the dip. I don't want to chase this. I really want the dip because we're already outside of value. We can consider 135 long now. Don't go without us. SOXL new high of day. ES breaking out. This is everything. All they needed to do was trap. This is why I didn't want to get short today. I'm joining this for the break and we'll see. Previous day high here. If we base above here, I'll add, but I would really like this to pull back and hold 50s now. Ideally, we pull back and hold 107s, but if we pull back and hold 50s now, it'd be good. Oh my God, we are up, up and away. Can we pull back? Oh my God, we're going and going and going. Clearing out the liquidity. I'm adding into this. Previous week close coming up. Taking some off here. We'll see if we can get previous week point of control now, which was our final target, which is up here. I've had to join in for the move up. It's so squeezy. Big buyer came in at 98. I still want to see if we can hold 50s here on a reload. Here comes 50s. Come on, bit lower for a reload, bit lower for a reload, bit lower for a reload, please. Bit lower for a reload, please. Stop holding up there. 65s, here come the 50s. Wait and see if the buyer comes on the book here. He's there at 50s. He's there at 50s. I want to see him be absorbed. Come on. Come on. Please fill him so I can see if he's there. Can see him at 50s, 100 lot. Waiting to get long here. I just want to see him get filled and see how we act. All right, I'm long on him. Tight stop. He didn't get filled, so it's a very tight stop because we can flush back down to 101s again. He's still there at 50. He's adding underneath himself. I don't like that. Here come the buyers. He's walking up now, which is great. He's walking up to 62, so he's annoyed he hasn't been filled. Let's see if he can hold 62. Here come the buyers. Can we hold 62 now, which is where he's looking to get filled, which would be a good sign. Don't want it to break 50 or I'm out. I'm out. Can always get back in. Can always get back in. This is washy, washy, washy. What is going on? Did ES clear? ES cleared. We missed 170s. By how much? By 40 cents. Still looks good for a buy here. Just wait. I'm going to let it settle down a minute. We had another attempt there. That was a good trade, though. I got very aggressive in that squeeze. This is the thing. Sometimes the order flow, you just got to read it as it goes. It's not always that easy. Pakistan Army Chief may visit Iran tomorrow to announce completion of final version of the agreement. If he doesn't travel to Iran, the announcement will come within hours. The next round of negotiations will be held in Islamabad. So it's all about that. So basically looking at the end of the war. Take with that what you want. We're still holding the 50s well here. I took my stop there because I didn't want to take a big 50-point washout. But you can see why I was less keen on getting short today. But I tell you what, the semis have come very close to that cool wall. This still looks good for a long right now. And it's just how we can get involved. They've made it hard with that big shove. We're holding the opening range here. So all the time we're holding this, I'm looking to buy again now. And see if we can get up to 280s. The big buyer got caught here at 200 first time round, just so you know. It's a huge delta lot, got caught here at 200. So we'll see if we can hold 160-ish, where that seller just came in and got stuck. I'll think about buying again. Any hold in front of that. If we break 200 and we base above 200, we can think about that. But we've already tagged previous week close. So we've hit our main TP, which was here this morning on this first drive. We've hit it in this next drive out. I think we can get up here, which is where we're trying to get to, is basically 300. Big seller coming in here. He's going to get himself hurt. So we'll see if we can hold a pullback now. Yes, looks good. SOXL is coming into 170. Be very careful. This is the cool wall on SOXL. If we get through this cool wall, it's game time. But this is a profit-taking area if you're playing chips. So just be very careful. We'll see if we can hold 160 here like we talked about. Oh, I don't want to chase this. I missed that dip. I missed that dip. I don't want to chase it. 170 cool. Big level for semis, man. Big level for semis coming up. Break this and this thing is going to absolutely smash it higher if we break this. Here it is, 170, 170, 170. I don't want to chase, but this thing's going to go. This thing is going to absolutely rip here if we break 170. Really don't want to chase. I need to get long here, over 200. Lots of sellers coming in here. I think they're going to get hurt. I think we're going to make a new high day here. Here they come. They're going to get hurt. Squeeze is on. The squeeze is on. Through the 170s we go. Through the 170s we go. We're going to drive straight up into the... we should get up to 300 now, really. So you got previous week close here at 31s if you're long. I'm not long, unfortunately. I need something to get me in. Like, that might be enough. If we hold twos. Back through the 170s again. I think this thing's got legs, man. I think this thing's got legs here. Just waiting to see if we break and hold above the 170s. Still got 2 minutes left on this 5-minute bar. But yeah, if you got long at 160, 150 like we talked about, you know, you're another 55 points up. I think this is your final target, is up here today. Basically, you can call it 300. You're basically looking for 300. $170 being sold into at the moment. We're still holding though. There's no big reaction there. I still think it's got more. Sellers just got trapped again there at 190 into that previous day high. This can come back down to 61s again. Where did that big seller come? Yeah, he's at 60s. I want to see how we act down there. Here they come. ES just took out previous day high as well. Have some imbalances if it wants to backfill. I still want to get long. I'm just waiting to see what I want to see on deck. I need to see if a bit more selling get caught and absorbed here after tagging previous week close twice. Here come the buyers. They're still hanging out at 150s, waiting for them to walk up a little bit. Still not through the 170s. We poked it and then paused. By the way, if you lose 160s here, if you've been long, obviously I don't have a position yet, you want to be very careful. If they lose 160s, of that move straight back down into 100s inside value, right? So they've got to print and hold the top of this grey box to get going. Otherwise, you're going to chop this grey box again like this, which is ugly. And there's the rejection of the 170s. I'm still waiting. Still not risk on. They can bring this deeper if they're horrible, all the way back down to 100. What a slop fest. Can we get involved in something? Are you going to give us any entry today of confirmation, or are you just going to squeeze, give it back, squeeze, give it back, squeeze, give it back? Give it back it is it? Untradeable right now. For a continuation trader anyway. Back down to the hundreds like we just talked about. So much of the squeeze is on. What do you think that is? That is a squeeze. It is on. And it was on if we break 170. Like I said, if we break 170. Did we break and hold above 170? Did we break and hold above 170, Chris? Or did we poke into it? And it can still come back for it. Are you watching SOXL? Are we under 65? Are we under 60? No. Did we break above 170 and hold? No. Can it still do it? Yes. It's only been, what, 3 or 4 minutes since it's been up there. Like I said, it needs a new 5-minute bar. And you lot are so impatient. Fucking madness. There's the drift to 100. There's the print over 100. Back above the grey box now. We have imbalances above. If they start sending this now, they have a chance for a reload and a go. All right. We don't just go straight up. We've rebuilt. A squeeze is still on. This can still squeeze. We've just caught a load more shorts here. All right. Who tried to play this rotation. If we hold this, this is still on. It's still available. Look. It's like I have to explain and show you. Like, have we made a lower low? No. Right? 170. Above 170, a squeeze is on. Right? A squeeze is on. This is the squeeze scenario. Above 170. Look what we're coming back for to test. Above 170, a squeeze is on. Man, I don't know what else to say. Like, I've laid it out, the levels for you. I would still be looking long. Like, I'm not looking short here. I'm just going to give this a chance to, like, wiggle out for a bit. I didn't want to chase up here. I was considered 150, but the buyer didn't hold strength, so we came back down and washed to 100, which we're still bidding on. If we start to base up here, I will start to buy, all right? Because the auction at higher day doesn't look that great. There's sellers at 200s. And we get back through that, we get going. And look what we're revisiting again, 170s, all right? So if we break 170s, like I said, the squeeze is on. Let's see if pullbacks start to hold now and they start to trap sellers or not. And this all depends what they want to do, how they want to act. We've got like a little imbalance here at 71s. If they start to hold value area high for the session, then that's a good indication that we're going to trade value higher. But remember, I will remind you that this whole move is a look back inside previous week's value. All right. This is not going to be easy to get through because it's not thin liquidity. All right. This isn't thin. This is very thick. We're not just going to knife through. All right. But a squeeze is on up to here. This is the node that I think we can trade into. This, as long as they hold for the base and break, right? Because this is saying to us right now, what we're saying is, hey, market, we're not accepting lower prices. This is too cheap. We're going to come back inside of last week's value. Hey, market, if we're going to go inside last week's value, then we think we're going to test last week's point of control, which is still naked. You're going to eat your fucking words here if we start to get going. When is NVIDIA reporting earnings? I think you could probably look on Earnings Whisper, Google, ChatGPT, pretty much anywhere would be able to tell you. You could read the newsletter that I sent out on Saturday. SOXL 170. If this goes, we are going to squeeze. Here it goes. Here's the 170 break. Can they base above here and go? You're about to eat your fucking words if we do this. Here we go. Can we get going through the 170s? High day coming up, and then we're going to look for 280s now. And I'm starting to buy now because I'm now convinced we're going higher based on what we're seeing. So any dip back down into 200, I'm going to add because I've just bought up here. Here we go. New high day. You can peel some off here. And I will continue to add if we start to base above 170 now. Big seller coming in up here. I don't think he gets his way. That's a rejection. They're bidding at 175s, which is a bit lower than I'd like to see it come on a reload. I want to see us hold 210s here. Here we go. Here we go. We're looking for naked point of control. I'd like to size up on a dip here, please. Okay, so gamma level 265. I think we're going to come up to here towards 300. That should TP for today. This was all, by the way, planned out pre-market. We talked about it pre-market, didn't we? We talked about it pre-market of what we wanted to see today. I'm just wondering what we planned pre-market. Oh yeah, that. Oh yeah. Here we go. Suck your mum. Suck your mum. Arsenal fans won't know what I'm talking about. Here we go, baby. I'm not sized. I wish I was sized for this. Suck your mum. Suck your mum. Suck your mum. You Americans will be like, what is he on about? You can go to Mo the Comedian's page and have a look. That news really helped you. It's not about news, mate. It's about liquidity that's trapped. All right? News doesn't move the market. Liquidity moves the market. Here we go. You think that news helped? It's the same news we've had for the last 6 weeks. A deal's going to be done. A deal's not going to be done. It doesn't fucking matter. What matters is there is divergence. That's what matters. What matters is chips are running the show and they're not breaking down today. They're moving high. What matters is sellers are caught at lows. What matters is this is a naked point of control we're trying to revisit. It's the same shit every day. Right, there's your first TP into this GEX level. We'll see if we can lift above this. I'll see if we reload here. I'd like to come and see us test these sellers who got stuck at 202s. There is a seller at the IB high here. I'd like us to come lower, test the seller a bit lower. That would be magnificent. That would be magnificent if we can test the seller a little bit lower. Where's this guy? 206. He's caught. Where's this guy? 234s, 206s are the trap sellers right now. All right, I'm waiting for a 207. See if we can come back down somewhere into that 200 range. Why? Because it's where big sellers got stuck. So I'm waiting to see if they reload this down into this 200 range, which we're coming into now. Remember, we just hit big targets. I will tell you, SOXL is back beneath 170 now, so be aware of that. But this is the level here that I'm watching. This sort of 207 is where they tried to very, very aggressively sold and failed. So I would imagine they start to cover their sells here unless they get their way. There's the response on 207. So I bought that dip, and I need to see it get back above IB or I'm going to get out because I'm not going to give this a chance to come lower. And I'll reload lower if we have to. There we go. Beautiful. Can we get back through IB? So this is the next seller who has come in, is at 234. So we want to get, we're basically transitioning between 200 and 234s. That's where the sellers are stuck. So I just bought that dip and we'll see if we can get back above 234s for a re-squeeze out. And the buyers are on the taper at 200 and 187 right now. I don't really want it to come to 187. We'll let a lot of these sellers out if we do that. Out here, and we'll wait for a reload. I'm going to do the same wiggle and go, I think. Let me see. If you took me out by a fucking point there to then go again, I'm going to be upset with you. You still haven't filled these buyers. 100 lot at 200, 100 lot 187. They need to hold the top of this, otherwise they're going to do the IB rotation. So wait and see if they hold up here or not. Big sellers coming in now. I'm not touching this for a minute. It's got to calm down again. We're washing now. Let this chill out for a second. Yeah, so XL back inside 170. Previous day high here, back into value area high. If they lose value area high, we do a full rotation again and we come back into this grey box where we do not really want to trade today into this grey box. We don't really want to trade in here if we're thinking long. But we did complete TP1, TP2. Big sellers coming in here still. Not seeing many bids show up yet. They're much lower. They're trying to buy deep dips right now, which is not what we want to see for continuation. There's the 200 test, failing 200 so far on this first test. Failing again on a second test. They need to break back above and get back above 225s. Not buying dips down here. It's too deep. Wait to see it show strength above. ES looks good. Got to get back above these sellers for me, which is sort of 207 level. Got to get back above 207, I'll start buying again. And then back above 235, I'll really start buying again. So back above 207, can we get back above 235? 235 now will be the level. So this is where the sellers came in. We caught sellers on those last washes down. So more sellers caught again here around this 200. If we start basing 200 here, there's an argument for it, but the big sellers at 235, that's the base at 200. Do they hold this? I hate that these buyers are hanging out at 150. Is the 200 hold? The sellers are caught under this level right now. That's a good hold. All right, I bought that dip. Oh, you're going to wash me out straight away. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Get back above. Just bought your dip. Don't you dare. I'm out. Not holding that. Eat the loss there. That was naughty. They're going to come lower now and fill these buyers into 50s. I'm not touching this for a minute. Not if these buyers step up and then move. So there was a load of buyers there at 75. They walked up to 190 and then they pulled and moved down to 60s and 50s. They just got me caught. So I took that off instantly once that happened. Well, as quick as I could. The Alex trade about to happen there. If you're looking at Bookmap, you see these buyers at 70s, 60s, 50s. They're not walking up. That concerns me. They should be walking up to apply pressure. Chip's struggling to reclaim 70s here as well. Be aware of that. The strength has gone from those bigger, broader names. I don't know if I want to have another go here. Just got caught on that last one. Alex is on the buy button. Well, yeah, because we're in a buy cycle at the moment. We're back inside of value. So I don't want to fade a market which is telling us higher time frame. We're not willing to move lower. All right, we're not underneath. We're not staying heavy underneath this. All right. If we stay heavy underneath this, this is a market saying we're not moving higher. What we're saying right now as a market is sellers under here are incorrect, and we want to rotate previous week's value. That's what today is telling us. Remember, yesterday we hit the naked POC down here, which we bid off. Right. We're now reclaiming previous week's value. So if we're not going to auction lower underneath previous week's value, we're not going to auction under this, then the market's telling us, hey, we want to move back into this and above this, back into this, all right? Because that's last week's value. That's what the market's telling you right now. So I'm just trying to play for this rotation here. They're just making it a little bit tricky today to play for it, but that's expected. But that's what I'm trying to position for. I don't want to sell inside previous week's value on a rotation. I'll sell if we show weakness underneath it all. It's tempting me to buy it again because it's holding 200s again. Do I have one more go at this? The problem is SOXL is going to have one more go at 170. And if it fails, we are going to rotate lower because that will be a lower high set in. So I'm going to wait here very, very, very patiently. It might be one of those where if it goes, I don't get involved, honestly, with how they've set it. You can see we're holding now above value area high for the day. We're holding previous day high. We're holding all levels. The problem is if they push and fail, this IB trade becomes available based on what we're seeing on SOXL. If SOXL breaks 170, then we're looking for an IB extension. My target is up here. This is all I'm trying to get to is 300. All right, and then we can think about if we've got enough size on runners above it. Yeah, we'll see. We've got to get involved first. Right, 170 test coming here, SOXL. SPY trying to base on previous day high. SOXL not getting through that 170 like we talked about. That's why I'm trying to wait right now. Right, seller here at 225. Once we take that guy out at 225, we've got a buyer slightly stuck at 220. Once we take that guy out, we should come and test the seller at 234. And that's the level that I'm interested in. They have sold aggressively down here and then we're not breaking lower. Yeah, we can do because SOXL just rejected 170. This is the problem right now. It is all on the chips. It is literally everyone's eyes are on chips right now. The squeeze up has happened from chips. It will continue to happen from chips. $225, yeah, it's 105 lot seller up there. We're just going sideways here while they make their mind up on what next. Running out of room though, I'll tell you that much. How long we got left? We've got plenty of time. We're running out of room. What are you guys saying? ES long 7,400. What would you do? You're long from 7,400. Well, I would have paid myself a bit here and a bit into that drive up to previous day high. Where's my mouse so I can have a look? I would have paid myself into 20s, into 28s, and then your cool wall 1 is your 5-day moving average up at 35. So I would have been paying myself on the way up. You should be down to like 40% of your size left maybe, looking for 35s and 45s, and if you break through those, 55s is where the stops are. So you've got stops. Here comes a 170 test. I've got to focus in now, folks, because I don't want to miss this if we're going to go. There's the IB test. So we've got to get back through IB above this seller at 34s, and then we leave the seller's court for a new high of day. Lots of liquidity highs. So I'm trying to get involved in this now. This 170 is massive as we approach it. Here's the IB. Can we get back above 35 is the question. There's so much liquidity to fill higher up to 300 where we're trying to go. I don't want to jump the gun here before we get through the 170s because I will get myself caught if I do that, I think. Because we can still bear flag into 170s on SOXL. So remember, 35 is where that seller's caught. We need to get above him. We've now left all the sellers at 200 or 206 and below caught. The last big seller to get through is this guy here, right here. It's 145 lot at 35. Once we get through him and base above him, and once SOXL gets through to 170, I think we go for a new high of day and we get up to the naked level. But it's a big if right now because we're not seeing SOXL get through that 170. Let's see if there's one more trade set up here. I'm not going to play the short on this. Not all the time we're above 200. I'm not interested in trying to fade it back in right now. So I'm just going to wait and wait and wait and wait. If they drop the chips, this thing, I will tell you, if they drop the chips and fail 170, this thing will absolutely tank fast if they drop it. We will see. I might go and get another coffee here quickly while we wait. Not making it easy today, that's for sure. I can see this getting stuck here. All right, 170 rejection, SOXL. So it's good we didn't front run that. It's a pretty clear rejection. So buyers will need to hold 180 here. If they fail to hold 180, you're going to see a rotation back down to 110s probably. Here's the 180. If they don't hold this, you're probably going to come 110s. So there's a wiggle here at 180. They will try and absorb this. If they fail, I think you go 110s, honestly. So they're trying to hold it. It's a big level for them to make a decision. It's a good hold. They got to get back over 205 now, and then they got to get back over 235. So I'm just waiting and waiting. I do not want to become liquidity today, all right? So you can see I'm just wait. What's happening? Why do some of you say stuff like that? What's happening? The chart is moving. Liquidity is being built. Buyers and sellers are trying to figure out what's fair value in an auction. The same thing that happens every day. I don't understand what you think's. What do you think is different here? You think this is different to any other day? I don't think it's different to any other day. I think it's exactly the same. Yeah. Okay, back to these 205s that we talked about. Through 205s, they will try and test 220, 225, 235. Buyers are stuck 220, 225. Sellers stuck. Well, he will be stuck above 235. It's a big level, this. It's a big level, this, for them to make some decisions on what next. The chips don't look good here. Telling you that much. They need to get back above 170 and then they can go. Not beforehand. Market's getting spicy here. Jostling around for position. What happened to the guy saying short at 180? I didn't see it. Sorry, mate. I don't know. I'm assuming he's sweating a little bit at the moment. All right. All eyes are on this right now, which is rejecting, which is why we're seeing weakness. All right, so 170, we traded through it, we failed. We're basing out at an RBS zone right now. Here's your RBS zone. Right, they lose this, you get a rotation. They hold this, this would be a two leg, and they'll try and go back up for it. That is what you're seeing right now. The divergence across the board, if we look at ES, right, stuck at IB. If they keep failing IB, this trade here becomes available, doesn't it? To this stop, to the VWAP, all right, IB to VWAP. So we haven't hit the call wall yet on ES, interestingly. It's still priced in higher, so they still have room if they can pin this and go. I'd say most of the eyes are on this. Is it a 2-leg on the RBS and a go, or do they fail and we see weakness come to the market? I don't know, folks. Like, I can't predict it. I can only say what's setting up. Those are the legs setting up. But so far, I would say quite clearly, above this node here, we don't have acceptance yet. We are trading this. Look at this. So we're buying dips there and selling pops there, not you and I, the market makers. That's what they're doing. If we find acceptance over it, we get going. IB high again here. So again, over 34s, I think we start going. Here's your IB high check. This is where the seller's been all day long. There's so much liquidity up to 300. I am surprised they haven't gone for it. SOXL starting to find a bid here. I will join in if we start to base over IB, because then I get a bit more confirmation, but not beforehand. Seller here at 37s. So what do we say? 180. Buyers need to defend 180, then get through 205. They get through 205, then come up to 135, or whatever I called it. We've just done that whole move there in the last 2 minutes. We came down, we held, we went back up. And we'll see if they break through here. Remember, this is the target. This is where they're trying to get to. There's your call wall, but this is what they want to do, because that is a value rotation. That's why we're bullish today, not bearish today, because we're back inside a value. I know lots of you ICT traders were very bearish today. No, 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 no. Okay, here it comes. SOXL is not going yet. Big buyer stepping in here. Do we get long for this move to 70s? Just waiting to see a little wiggle in the tape here to join. Don't squeeze without me, please. Qs are going. ES is going. I need to join into this. See if we can hold. Where is that guy? 33s. See if we can get a micro pullback here onto IB to buy. A little bit more, please. No. No. Don't fill the imbalance before filling me. I'm trying to get long into IB here. You fucker. You fucker. It's gone. It's not going to pick me up. That's all right. Maybe. Maybe you come pick me up. Maybe. Maybe. We're still not through 170, just so you know. Come on. Come down a bit more. Don't make me join late. Don't make me join late. Don't make me join late. I will regret it. I'm not joining late. There's no way I'm marketing in yet. You got to come pick me up, you clucker. Did any of you buy 180? It was a good buy. It was a good buy to 180s. You're 70 points up already. What level am I looking to buy? I'm looking at the IB high, the purple line on your screen, basically. There all the way, if they flush underneath, all the way down to 220s again, basically. Looking to buy and then extend it up. ES breaking out. SOXL, by the way, is not through the 170s yet. I want to make that clear. All right, let's see. See if you hold this here. Yeah, all right. Dipped that. I bought that into IB. So I'm in now at 35s. Lots of liquidity here. We should lift. We should lift and fill all this up to 300 now. So here's the IB buy that I just bought. Here we go. Gamma wall 1. If you want to take some off here, you can. I'm looking for this move into 300. All right, like I've been looking at all morning. There we go. All right, nice. Let's get 300s now. Come on. Get out my king way, Mr. Seller. I see you here at 75. Go away. I want to fill the guy above you. If you want to pay yourself here, you can. I'm really looking for 300s because it completes the rotation. QQQ's into a gamma level here at 710 as well. ES is coming up to the 725s, which it's cool. So we're in profit taking region. It's just whether we get full TP here. It's the only question right now. Can we get full TP here? Come on, give me 300s. Come on. I've got to lock some in here. We're faffing around at the 70s. Locked a piece in. Give me 300s. 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 Be careful. Well, look, we're well in the money, right? We bought the 35s. We bought the IB. Our stops break even now. We're in the money. I paid myself a little bit. And we'll see if we get 300 now. Either way, we're okay. Here comes a big buyer. They're trying to fill this guy at 70s. They're trying to fill basically 100 lot or 100 lot at 67 to 70. Once we fill that, we should lift up to 90. What is this actual level? It's not actually 300, is it? 95. I just want to make sure that's accurate. It isn't actually accurate. It's got to come down a tiny piece. Tiny, tiny, tiny piece. This is the level right here that I'm trying to fill. So what I'm trying to fill, 87.5 ideally on the runner. What's my full TP? It's here. It's this red line, because that completes the rotation for me. I do not want to see this come under 50 now, because we've been very aggressive buyers at 50. They've been aggressive again at 55s. They've been aggressive again at 59s and aggressive again at 63s. So we'd like this just to complete the rotation and come and fill me up towards the 300. Here we go. Come on, a little bit more. A little bit more, please. Please. A little bit more. The Germans are here. The Germans. They're back. The efficient Germans are back. Any Germans here, Oliver? It's a 40 Towers joke for some of you. I'm showing my age. Showing my age. Almost there, folks. We're there or thereabouts. Come on, baby. Give me my full TP. Don't you fucking dare fail in front of it. Come on! Come on! What do I have to do to make you pump? Give me the pump! Give me the pump! I mean, I do not want this to lose this 67 to 62 bid, because they can flush down to 50. I don't want to give back too many points here. Oh, you motherfuckers! There we go. The Alex trade is about to happen now. You watch. Missed my TP by the tiniest bit. I'm extra excited today because of Arsenal. Yeah, exactly. Do I need to put my top back on? Did you guys not see what I posted on Instagram yesterday? The biggest winning day of my career off stream. Because we're fucking champions. Champion. Oh, you just fucking ate my stop there, didn't you, to go and finish it on the runner? I don't care. Here you go, folks. You should get it now. Look at all the liquidity they're adding high. You should get it now. You should get it now. We can talk about what happens after this for some of you who might want to hold. So if we just think about what might happen after this, what your next targets would be. If you're able to get above this grey box, well, I guess your next target would be the top of the grey box. So you're targeting basically bottom side of grey box, 80s. Then you're targeting 340s. Now, if they set a squeeze today, you have a low volume node, and I think you can visit 377s, and you have a double top high at 420s on the hourly, which would be within sight if they go bonkers today. I'm now out of this, folks. My runner got eaten on that little wash. I still think you do more, but I'm just being honest with you. I'm fucking out again. What's the app that shows you the number of buyers and sellers, the different levels? Is that Bookmap? You can use Bookmap for it, which is above me. If you're talking about this one, this is called Spectra Footprint. It's a flow zone indicator, which is coming. Ninja Trader, if you're watching, you're taking a little long here, buddy. If you could speed up a little bit, it would be great. What's my IG name? Flowzone. Flowzone Trader. All my socials are the same. They're all Flowzone Trader. Yeah. Have my coffee and we'll finish the move. Well, I've got it here. I could go for a bathroom break for you lot if you want. If that's what you mean. Finish the move with the bathroom break. It's a coming. It's a coming. Does Bookmap work for SPY? Yeah, you can use it for anything. You just need a different package. It's coming. You're about to get it. Congratulations, those who didn't get knocked out on that little wash right into 50. It literally came right into... my stop was a tick too high. I should have put it under 50. All right, so I was trying to use this buyer for defense. Where is it? Where is he? This guy? No. It was on an M1. Where was that? 50. Yeah, 50. Here. So in this candle, my stop was actually hit. There you go. You just hit TP. All right. You just hit TP1. Congrats. Grey box. It's there or thereabouts. For me on Ninja Trader, you can see it's the red line. We just hit it. For TradingView, it's a tick or two higher. But that would be my TP1. And now it's just whether you find acceptance higher. But that's the move. All right. We've done the move. We talked about it. This was planned all week. Okay. This was planned all week. Again. What move have we just completed? This, previous week point of control, all right? Dips that hold, reclaim value. Look at this. Dips that hold point of control, reclaim, previous day value area high, previous week value area low. Means no acceptance underneath previous week value. Means what? Rotation up to previous week point of control. There's the move. You've done it. Low hanging fruit's gone. Thanks very much. Be happy, be done. Don't worry about what happens now. You can hold a runner if you want, but there you go. It's done. Live feed delayed by 20 seconds. No, it's if you've got fast internet, the max it should be is 6 seconds. The max it should be is 6 seconds. See the reaction once we hit the point of control? That's why you take TPs into key areas. SOXL also failing to get under the 170. I'm now done for the day. Like that's the main move I wanted to see today. We've completed the main move. My plan has happened, right? So let's go over the whys, right? If you think about what I had on my pre-plan, right? What do I look for a dip into? This pink line. Yeah, just think about the plan. I want you to focus on the plan, why it's important to have a plan. The dip into the pink line, the reclaim of the value areas, which is the grey box, and the drive up to the previous week point of control. Let's have a look at what we saw at open. Okay, the dip into the pink line. They needed to do it twice. They clearly, why did they do this? They clearly didn't trap enough shorts down here. All right, so they trap some, they drive away. They come back in, they trap more, they drive away. Okay, and then we do what? We hold the grey box. Okay, so what's the plan? The plan is to see this move here. Okay, that's exactly what you got. It is exactly what you got. They need to build liquidity. TP's hit, done. All right, that's the plan. The plan now is very simple. If they hold above previous week's point of control, they can try and rotate, big if, asking a lot, to take some of these stops out that we talked about and go up to the top of value. I doubt that happens today. What we can do now is just ping pong and build liquidity out in what is the lower part of this D. If we think about previous week, the lower part of that D can ping pong. If we lose value, all right, if we see this, then we are going to ping pong inside current week value. All right, so to make that make sense for you on a chart, we go to a 5 minute, make it super duper easy. All right, we are currently above current week value. If we hold this, we can ping pong between here. If we lose current week value, we can ping pong between here. All right. And if we get back above previous week point of control, which we just tagged, we can try and ping pong between here. All right, those are the levels. They're very thick levels, right? We're not trading through thin liquidity right now. So don't expect, right, a market to move fast. Look at this. Look how thick we are here, right? And here. Where were we thin? in here. Where did we want to buy yesterday? Here. There's the reclaim. There's the leg. This becomes important. They can fail this. If they're adamant on selling this market harder, this is where I'd be looking to set a lower high. I don't think that's what's going to happen, but I'm talking about from a swing point of view, all right? That can still happen, but that's why we trade from this zone to this zone to this zone, and then we go risk off and we wait. Because we're day traders, we're not swing traders here. Well, we are, but we're not in this stream. Okie dokie. All right, I'm going to read some of these comments because I know I've missed a load of comments here today. And some of you guys challenging me, another day of challenging me. You love challenging me. Hopefully you just understand that I'm only here to help you. Hopefully you've learned today, because if you tried to trade against me today, just like the guy trying to trade short yesterday when I said we're going to squeeze, same as today, guys trying to trade short when I said we're going to squeeze, you're going to get hurt. I don't say it because I want to be right. I'm happy to be proven wrong. But you have to trade what's in front of you, not what you hope, you think, you pray. Your man who gets into a car and gets told what to do by God, none of that's going to help you. God is the market. You do what the market says. All right, let's see what you guys are saying. Do you have an affiliate code? No, look, Spectra Footprint is an indicator which I will make available, which a guy on my team has designed. Okay, so it's not available yet. I'm trying to get it pushed through. It's been approved, but you know, there's a red tape you have to go through to get these things up. What's the chance of a short all the way down? All the way down to where? I mean, look, there's a chance that this was today. That's it. There's a chance that you lose IB, but what you have to be aware of is how you've built out structure. So if you're trying to go all the way down now, right, you need to be backside of this. You need to lose current value. And remember, you can still print above previous week and previous day. So the best short, right, the best short, honestly, comes here, right, comes under all of that. Because we're in bullish order flow right now. If we just take everything off here, let's just clean everything up for a second. Right, all you guys looking for shorts are ignoring order flow. Right, sell side of the curve. End of auction. Good auction. Look at the long wicks. This was, remember, I've removed it now, naked point of control. Right? Response. What's that? It's your first high or low. What's that? Sideways action. All right? What happens when we normally reverse, unless it's a V shape? Sideways action, breakout, pullback, buy side of the curve, right? Sell side of the curve, buy side of the curve. Or if you wanted to call it what Lance calls it, like right side of the V, right? We don't sell right side of the V, higher time frame, do we? No, 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 no. We don't sell that. Okay, if you're selling this, you're going to get hurt. All right, if you're buying this, you're going to get hurt. Here's the order flow. This is a return back in to naked point of control from previous week. Do they sell here? It's very possible they sell here, but are you a whale? No, you're not. You're not a whale. You are a tiny little fish, just like me. We're all tiny little fish. So if you're going to sell this, what would you need to see? Well, you'd need to see failure here. This is not a nice level to trade at, but you would need to see a failure there. You need to see failure of value. You need to see a rotation down to here. You need to be taking profit here. You need to see failure under here and here. But where does the pro sell come in? Well, really, it comes in when we start to lose this. This rotation becomes available. This, and under this, weakness. Not beforehand. So I'd be cognizant. If you are very sell side biased today, you might get yourself hurt. Might get yourself hurt. Remember, it's Nvidia tonight. All right, it's Nvidia tonight. Okay, just realized that the market makers are the ones that are always offering equal buys and sells of every minute. Yes, exactly. The big buyers and sellers are them covering the hedges. We're not always covering hedges. Sometimes they are placing a genuine trade. It's not always a hedge. Top 40 Brown, 1,611 in 10 minutes. Nice work. Do I think we can hit an H4 high? Let's have a look. I mean, you're pretty much there, mate. Look, this is... If you're talking about this high, that's your fat node. We just traded into it, right? That's your POC that we just traded into. We've already hit that. To hit here, you have to get through all this thick liquidity. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but it's asking quite a lot, all right? What you might see is this, maybe they hold this and come for it later in the week. Maybe they fail this, but we're not taking that short until we're underneath all of this. You have a delay of less than 2 seconds. That's amazing, Emma. That's awesome. Your TP was 1 tick too high. Well, hopefully they come and fill it for you now. Right? Hopefully they come and fill it for you now. It's pretty close. It's pretty close. But what you want to be careful of here is now that we hit targets, all right, if you lose this, this becomes available to trade into. All right, and if they lose this, this rotation starts. Remember, the IB's up here. I've taken this all off, but all right, if you lose IB here, you'll see the IB to view up trade become possible. Not probable today because of how we've set up, but it's possible. So I wouldn't be bidding on this anymore. Like, no more longs for me is how I would deem this right now. It's too risky at this point. Remember, we were attempting to get long this morning. We said we can buy flushes into here and we can buy reclaims of this. This is where we really wanted to be long today. It made it really hard because it ripped and then came back. We got some here and then it ripped, and then I think I got stopped out a couple of times before we eventually went. But we've done the move. This and this to here is the move. So for me, I wouldn't be adding any more risk because we're now... What you got to remember is this is the most traded level from the previous week, right? And not just by buyers. Buyers and sellers agreed that this was fair price. So we can do this, we can reject it, we can get above it and try and move away. But what we don't want to do is get risk on into it. We don't want to do that. We want to get risk on as cheap as possible, ideally underneath previous week value to value, right? So cheap discount from previous week to fair value from previous week. That's what we just did today. I get through some more of these. What's the name of the indicator for the grey boxes? It's called Alex's brain. Yeah, it's not an indicator, my friend. It's me drawing them on. Book $600. Nice work, mate. Alex, is it normal for lunch hour to be smooth move? I made all my money yesterday during lunch hour. Was that just luck? Yeah, I mean, normally it's thinner liquidity. It wouldn't, normally is not smooth. It's normally the opposite. It's retail trading. Would I still long NQ? No. Like I said, I've just covered that, right? No more longs. Hey, Alex, requesting first payout today. LFG. Let's go. Alexander, nice work. Just want to say thank you again for showing up every day for free. You're welcome. Top 40, you're the GOAT. 1,611 in 10 minutes. I was late because of my son's graduation. Oh, congratulations. But made 1,610 minutes. My guy, Alex, get a coffee. Thanks so much, my friend. That's very kind of you. And congrats on your son graduating. Alex, which car do you drive? I don't drive anything right now. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I have a Harley in my garage downstairs, and I've got 2 motorbikes in my garage back in London, which I probably need to sell. I don't really want to sell. One of them is like my Grail motorbike. So here they go. Fuck me. Well, your runners are going to pay. Top of the grey box. This is your next TP. If you're still long on runners, this is your next TP, and you can... wait for, if you're very, very, very lucky now, we need to get the Gex on. If you're very, very lucky now, you will get that move to 426. But this is your next TP. Oh, your runners are paying. They are paying. Sad day for Alex getting knocked out. There we go. All right, now holding the top of the grey box. So this is what we just talked about. If you hold the top of the grey box, which you've just done, you can probably try and get up into here. All right, so you have a node where we are now, 373 up to 433, and then you have another node up here. So if you hold this, you can try and get into this. You are now above all GEX levels for the day. There's nothing. Guess what just caused that? Guess what just caused that? Oh, hello. Oh, hello. What do we say? 2-leg if it starts to curl. There you go. All right, so 170 break. But you said 170 was squeezed. Well, there you go. There's a 170 break squeezing. All right, 180 is on deck now. If they hold pullbacks into here, all right, into 170 and IB on SOXL, they are going to try and send it for NVIDIA earnings. Right, they're going to try and price it in early. And this thing will absolutely lift NQ with it, like we talked about, because it's all that anyone cares about. We only care about that nowadays, apparently, but that's how it is. So you adapt or die. Adapt or die. What was I saying? Yeah, if and when I move, I will buy myself something very, very nice. I'll probably buy a collection of 3, to be honest. But I'm currently looking at 911 GTS, GT4S, Carrera 4S. I like the 991.1 because it's the naturally aspirated, but I would consider buying new, but quite like the natural aspiration pre-turbo. But we'll see. Maybe I'll just get something new. The US is in the final stages of talks with Iran. Yeah, is that what they said? I mean, I think we've heard this news since the first day the war started, right? It's not a war though, is it? It's I like to call it a little trip. It's a little trip. It's not a. They call it a war. It's not a war. They say yesterday. They say they don't like the war. I think people quite like the war. I thought it wasn't a war. Which one is it? Is it a war or not a war? The thing is, we've been in these games for ages. I will believe it's over when it's over, and not beforehand. We've had this for a long time. Just a conflict, a little trip. It's a little trip. Not sure why the market's reacting to Trump's posts. We're finally getting bored of it. I mean, it's news algos as well, mate. It's not just people. Remember, there are news algos out there that scan for words and then send it. I'm a Porsche tech. I agree with that. The GT4 RS is the best car in my opinion that Porsche builds for the cost. But okay, so major gains. Is the 991.1 the best version of that? That's my question, because I like the natural aspirated Porsches. So that's what I was thinking. Happy to get one of the newer ones, but I know they don't do the natural aspiration now. Out of interest, if you're a Porsche specialist, that would be awesome to find out if you agree. All right, so see how we're grinding through this grey box now. So we came above. Look at this. We came above. We held. We pushed. We failed. We came back in. We're chopping this now. All right. Why? Because it's the thick level from the previous week. This is a huge level from the previous week. Again, I wouldn't be adding long now. If it goes, it goes. If you're still holding positions, hurrah. Happy for you all. But after, you know, what am I trying to say? You're longing a grind and extended move now. You don't want to do that. All right. We wanted to long the dips down here this morning and sell the. Remember, we're buying dips, selling rips. We're not buying rips hoping for more. Where do I live? I'm in LA at the moment. For now. You prefer McLaren? I don't. even as a British man, that troubles me to say it, but too many issues, man. They go wrong too much. I like them. Like, I just think I'd be just hemorrhaging money having it fixed all the time. You've got a 997, 991.1 is great too. Yeah, 997 is cool. Who do I think will win at the midterms? Honestly, I haven't been looking, but it won't be Donald. I can't see how he's going to win, honestly. Based on what I'm seeing anyway. Like, look, I can't vote, but based on what I'm seeing, he has now less than a 30% approval rating. You're starting to see the last few weeks some Republicans turn on him and starting to distance themselves. So, you know, I think he needs to get out of this war before the midterms to give himself a chance. Inflationary pressures are there. You've got yields breaking out. If mortgages become more expensive, if we end up doing a hike, I think you're going to see people very upset. Very upset. But fuck, what do I know? I barely know anything about US politics, to be quite honest. I didn't grow up here. He doesn't run in the midterms, but doesn't he get midterms results? Isn't that what they keep talking about on the news right now? Or am I completely wrong? Maybe I'm wrong. Can I know what Confluence on Bookmap you use to enter your second trade? Because I tried it earlier and it stopped, and it looks like exactly when it's gonna happen often. What was the second trade? The one around here we took. The one around here. It wasn't just Bookmap, so we're always playing someone's pain. All right, so let's just squeeze this in. All right, the sellers today got very aggressive here. Yeah, you can see all these purple dots. This is all the selling, which was at value area high. You would have heard me say numerous times, 180 needs to hold. Okay, and then from 180, if buyers hold 180, we can see what happens. There's the flush, and look where we come to, just under 180. Now, why does that matter? Because what happens from this candle to this candle is they increase selling. They sell more, right? More aggressive sellers. Do we move under their sell point? Remember, the big guy this morning was at 160. We get above him. If all these lot keep selling for 15 minutes and they sell between 210 and 190 and we don't move lower, what's going to happen? They are going to become stuck. So what we're looking for on Bookmap is, as we come in here, we're looking for this to happen in real time, of aggressive selling to happen. What we're looking for is a passive buyer on the bid here, refreshing, buying, absorbing, which is your horizontal lines on Bookmap. And what we want to see, if we imagine those horizontal lines are here, sometimes you'll hear me saying, I don't like that they're hanging out at 160 and 150. What we want is these passive buyers to start moving up. And then we finally started to see it. We started to see the passive buyers moving up. So if we come and look at this at 10:40 today, I'll come and have a look at it on Bookmap Live for you. I think that's where it was. Auction at high day does look good. You're starting to see, look at the difference. You're starting to see lots of buying up here, right? If we start moving under 300, you're going to have a huge amount of buyers stuck, right? Especially if we move under 260. Right, which is where the breakout, the flag breakout buyers were. So lots of buying up in this big candle. If we move under 260, you're going to leave those buyers trapped. Right, let's have a look. Not beforehand, but if we move under it. Let's have a look at Bookmap for you guys. Where did I say I needed to come back to? Around 10:30. Here. That was the 180 dip. Okay. Hopefully you can see all this. All right, here. Auction at the low, seller caught. Big buyer comes in. You can see we start to build a box. here, right? Makes sense? Where's that box? It's basically 180 to 225, okay? 180 to 225. Now, every time we visit the low side of this box, breakout sellers are coming in. Breakout sellers trying to force it down. Breakout sellers trying to force it down. Breakout sellers trying to force it down. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attempts. They come in piling with size to try and force it down. Does price move down and fill the liquidity down here? No. Instead, what do you see? Look at these buyers here at 150. They move up to 160. They move up to 175. And then in here, they start to lift and chase. Look, they're chasing price, trying to support price higher. See how these horizontal lines come up with price? They are trying to chase price higher to support, because they know these sellers are now caught, especially this guy, 177 lot and a 58 lot. These guys become caught. So we come to the top side of the box where the buyers had originally got caught. Remember we said, I think it was 1035. I'm trying to remember top of my head. 235, I think, was the important level, because earlier we had a seller caught there. I think it was a seller caught there. Let me just check my other screen. 1035, 235, sorry, 235. At the time was a seller caught, yes. Okay, so once we got above 235, which is right here, which we originally had some, must be from earlier in the day. Was it from earlier in the day? No, maybe it was here. Okay, which is where all this strong selling came in. Had a buyer try once, fail. Buyer try again. Now look at this wiggle at this box. So we fail to break the underside of the box. Think about this range. Fail, breakdown, reclaim, top side of the range. What happens here? Sellers try and get us back into the range. What happens here? The bid shows up. All right, they come in and defend this. All these bids lift. Think about these bids who are down here, supporting bids. They come and try and support the top of this box. They're saying, no, you failed at the lows. You're not coming back to the lows. We're going higher and we're going to support this bid. And here comes the seller right in the 35. This is his passive sell. And the buyer just goes, fuck you, mate. 100 lot, buy. We've got you caught. We go up. We come back to test that same level because this is an RBS where a seller was. Bang. We come back and test that same level. Sellers get aggressive. What happens? Passive buyers come in. Lift. Straight up. All right. And then we hit our targets up here. All right. So it's reading it in real time. I can see sellers getting caught here, absorbed. Sellers try again, fail, absorbed. We come back into this same level we just broke out from. Look how clean that is. When you go sideways, just horizontal lines. Box, failing underneath, failing underneath, failing underneath. Second attempt of breakout, breakout, pullback, hold, away. Big buyer, breakout, pullback, hold, away. Go. Come back to same level again. Absorption, 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 absorption. Look at the horizontal lines moving up and squeeze on tweet. And then all your targets are hit now. That makes sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Why do we keep getting random spikes? Because we're getting big news events, right? Liquidity controls where the market moves to. News events can be a catalyst for a market move. So if they feel that we hadn't priced in, I will remind you, okay, we priced in, the war's done, everything's fine, we're going to new highs, it's all good, right? We priced it in. Then we needed some profit taking on the chip names because they're so far extended. And we started to see tension over the weekend. Remember, over the weekend, there were threats from Donald saying, you know, I can't remember what he said. Like, if they don't sign it soon, they're going to regret it or something like that. Okay, maybe the war's not done. Into POC, into fair value, chips find a bid. And here, like we talked about yesterday. And now we're saying, hey, it is done. We're good. Okay. Cool. We'll come back to here then. And now what happens? Pullback's complete. If they're willing to bid over, the difference between first time round and second time round is we've now built out, if they're truly done, we've now built out liquidity. And if sellers got stuck down here and sellers at the high get popped, what do we see? New leg higher. And if we think about what we have on a daily, we now have room. Oh, you're on the wrong one, aren't you? That's all my fault. Right, let's go again. I'm going to go to a 4 hour. My bad. Okay. P still is going to be done. Nothing bad's going to happen. Chips are amazing. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah? We need to take some profit. Why? Because that's a ridiculous move. Okay, so we see profit taking. And then over the weekend, we get the news of they better sign a deal soon. Otherwise, I'm going to get very annoyed with them and we'll probably start bombing. Okay, there's the drop back into fair value. Okay, so we've now built out this liquidity. We've trapped sellers looking for the breakdown low, and we're back to the midpoint. Now, if this deal's done and they feel like we've got room, if they decide, look, we've got room, we want to price more in, Nvidia's got room to run, its forward PE ratio is not ridiculous. They've now got this and this available because shorts have their stops here and shorts got stuck here. The difference between that and first time round becomes the Bollinger Bands, because if we go to a daily, we now have room, right? We don't like going outside the Bollinger Bands. And I will tell you, if we go sideways for another day or two, the 20-day is going to catch up. Right, top Bollinger Band, pull back, sweep the low, come back inside, 5-day. Let's say tomorrow we do this, maybe we do this, we do this. The 20-day is going to catch up and the mean reversion will be complete just by going sideways. And then we can decide, hey, are we ready for more? Or do we get a 5-day, 20-day cross, market come underneath and a move back down to here? If they sell the news, let's say the war event they just say, hey, everything's fine, it's all good. Maybe they sell the news. I don't know. We'll see what happens when. I'm not going to predict it, but what I know now is that we've built liquidity. Whereas here, we didn't build any liquidity at all. We've now built liquidity. So they will make a decision. Right? One of these becomes available now in the next, I don't know, 3 weeks probably. 2 or 3 weeks. All right, back to the questions. Get through some of these. We've got half an hour left. When is the new NinjaTrader indicator coming? Well, I wanted it up this week. I had to email. Let's see if they've replied. Oh, I have a reply from them. Okay. Okay, it might take another week, they've just said. Just so you know. Can only move as quick as they move. They have to like get it into the system their end and stuff. I'm dancing. I'm up to 1,400 today. Nice work, man. Do you need Bookmap in order to make your strategy work? Can you go over it without? You don't need Bookmap. You don't need Bookmap. Like I say, like order flow is not a strategy. Okay, order flow is not a strategy. It is a way of observing participants in a market. You don't learn order flow and be like, that's a strategy. It's like saying candlesticks are a strategy. They're not, right? You might be a pattern trader. You might be trading patterns in candlesticks, all right? You might be trading profiles and trading, you can say volume profile. That's not a strategy. Trading rotations of profile is a strategy, which is what we've done today. So if we want to talk about strategies, all I'm ever looking to do is try and join the pro trend where possible. Okay, which is why we were in sells. Again, make this really easy for you. We were in sells the moment this liquidity got stuck. Okay, then we're selling pops. Because why? These buyers are stuck. So here's the strategy. We're selling pops. Right, we're selling pops, we're selling pops, we're selling pops until we hit our target, which was yesterday, the old naked point of control. Then we're going buy side of the curve. We've come to the bottom side. Remember, you have to zoom out. We come into support. We don't sell here, do we? We sell here and we buy here. If we come under this, we sell that down to here, but we didn't do that. So we're going buy side of the curve. So we finished selling pops. And now we go into buy dips. Right? Buy dips. Buy dips. That's what I tried to do today. Now we're coming into fair value. So now I'm neutral. I'm neutral because from the previous week, which is over here somewhere, but this is the neutral point. Probably 50%. It is probably 50% of the swing as well. I haven't even looked, but it probably is. It's actually 61. So we don't want to be a buyer anymore. Doesn't mean we want to be a seller, but we want to let it build out liquidity. So my strategy is very simple. When we're in a downtrend on the higher time frame and we have trapped buyers above, we're looking to sell. When we are into demand and a whale steps in and protects it and we're looking to trade up, we're looking to buy dips. That's the strategy. Then we're looking about how can we get involved in that. So we can think about buying dips at key levels, at reclaims of key levels, at holds of breakouts of key levels, breakout retest, right? And we sell pops into key levels for profit taking. Or you can think about, okay, make it very simple. If you're bullish because you understand you want to be buying dips because of the rotation. Okay, maybe you're looking for the opening range trade and you're going to ignore the lows because you understand that it should move higher. Okay, so once we break out, second break, hold, risk at the midpoint, buying dips. Or maybe you're trading the initial balance and you're just trading this. I wouldn't be trading that because we're a bit too extended at that point, but that. And your profit target, well, you can think about a 1.5. You hit it. Yeah? Or you're buying the flow zones. Once you get the buy signal and the dips start to hold. Right? Those are strategies. But it all comes from understanding where do you want to trade. Like my whole thing is trading in alignment with what the big players want to do. I never, ever, ever want to fight a big guy on the book. You'll see me jump out of positions early sometimes because I can see someone on the book who I don't want to fight with. Yeah? Will there be a giveaway today? Well, if we get enough likes, there will. Yes, always. 1,000 likes, we do a giveaway. Same every day, yeah? Get us to 1,000 likes, we'll do a giveaway. Will there be a sale on your course soon? No, very, very doubtful, Demi. Honestly, I think it's very good value at where it is. I don't charge 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. I don't charge a monthly fee. It's one-time fee. It's 20 hours, and you get lifetime Discord and a version of the flow zones. I mean, I think it's very, very fair on value. And remember, I'm in Discord. Like, I've made people enough money to pay for that course in one trade on Discord or in a swing on Discord. I mean, yeah, I can't make it cheaper. I'm sorry. Occasionally we do, very, very, very rarely occasionally. Like even if we look at like what we're in right now, IO1Q, which some of us started again yesterday, looking good, perking up. Like there's lots of stuff that starting to perk if the chips get going. So you can make it on a swing alone, even in, there's just too much edge in there. Is the spike up the cap for the day? They might need to put some new levels in. It depends, mate. I would say if they keep basing at 170 on SOXL, let's have a look at the levels for Nvidia, because this is really what's going to matter. Is what do they do? It's fucking bonkers when it comes to earnings, man. All right, so we're pricing in an 8% move. This is possible. This is what they're saying, at least up to an 8% move. So we could hit highs. Maybe we say it from the close or from the open. Let's do it from the open. Right, look at that. Your 8% move is your cool wall 1. All right, so this is what they've said is possible today. So if Nvidia, if they start pricing, this is what you have to understand. Are they buying today early to get this move? Or do they try and get all the weak hands out and then do this? Or do they buy it early to take puts into this gap, have retail buy it, and then do the opposite and flush it? Now, I don't think that one will happen, but you don't know. So it really depends what they want to do with this stock. You're into an RBS zone here. You're basing in here. The more they get people involved here, the more market makers will make money, right? And you probably see something like this or like this. And normally what we get with Nvidia is like a little wiggle and this, and then the following day is this. We just have to see. I mean, it's not, this is not breaking out. If we look at this as a stock, right, when we think about where the old all-time highs were, right, this looks quite healthy when you compare it to things like this or things like this, or even its main competitor over here. All right. These are much bigger forward PE ratios than you're seeing on Nvidia right now. So it's got room. And anyone that says that, the thing that worries me is everyone's calling this, oh, the look of everything's just like the dot-com bubble. Okay, well, maybe the look of stuff is similar, but these companies are making money and the forward PE ratios on them are not ridiculous. They have room to go if they want. When learning order flow, what tools would you rank as the most useful? Is Bookmap more insightful than Footprint? Look, they're different, right? Bookmap is tick for tick, but you can put Footprint on Bookmap. So if you're just going to pay for one, they're different. But I'll use them the same way. Like when you think about Bookmap, what am I focused on Bookmap? Well, obviously current order flow, right? Where participants are getting heavy-handed, where passive buyers and sellers are on the book, and then the delta, which is right here, volume profile delta, all right, which is what I look at on Footprint more than anything, is the delta candle to candle. But you can use, this has the ability to have Footprint on. You can put volume profile on. You could probably put delta profile on there. I never have done, it's not what I do, but it's available for you. It's just a different tool. It's a totally different tool. How's the guy that went short with the 300 stop loss at it? I didn't see any of that. I've seen a few of you talking about that. So where did someone go short? They were short at 180, some of you said, I think, right? So they went short at 180, probably the same guy as yesterday. Constantly looking for a Judas swing, which is not there, I would assume. What's the lifetime price of what? Everything on my website's there, mate. $699 for the main course. If you get the order flow with it, I think you get like $100 off or something. What was my job before trading? Music producer and DJ. Do I use session volume profile on Bookmap as well? I don't. it looks too cluttered for me, so I don't use it. I have enough screens that I don't need it. So you can see this grey box, we said we'll probably chop this grey box. Why? Again, if you look at the previous week, understand why we rotate. Previous week, where did we rotate the previous week? High volume node, here's your high volume node. This is the rotation, this is what we've just done in here. If we find acceptance above this, these are the stops that they can aim for. If they find acceptance above it. If they can't find acceptance, they chop it. If they don't find acceptance at all and we come below it, we transition back down again. Which is why I'm not bothered about the market now. I've happy to sit the rest out because I understand that my positioning getting long here would be bad and there's no way I'm shorting this right now. %80 of the market's down, only 20% is holding up. Yep, the breadth is poor. I agree with you. That's why we're watching the chip names. I agree with you overall, but we have started to see the start of a rotation, all right? The chips started to sell off the last few days. If you had a look at like the 5-day moving average yesterday, you had in the S&P, I think it was like 58% of the market over its 5-day. We need the 20-day to start getting over 50% as well, and then the breadth starts to come in because you see like they started bidding on energy a little bit. They started bidding on healthcare a little bit. The consumer names, like we talked about it yesterday, we rotated out of some. We went into like Costco, and some of these names started catching a bid. There you go. It's caught a bid again. Right, and if you're like, oh no, that's in a range. No, if you zoom out, on the days where we sold, right, on the days where we sold chips, we bid into names like this, safe havens, all right? So we are starting to see a rotation. Like, it is starting to happen. We are starting to see breadth, like, flatten out a little bit. Whereas last week, you would have seen in my newsletter of the last 2 weeks, it was troublesome, but the breadth, it is flattening out a little bit. Alex, you've made me money over the past year. Now you can convince my wife to let me go and buy a motorbike. I'll do it, man. It's the best way to travel. I absolutely love it. So good. I love my motorbikes, man. Alex, I have 5 Lucid eligible for payout with 4.5 each. Should I pay myself or make more buffer? Well, what size account are you on? If it's your first time taking a payout, I always think just pay yourself, even if you're just going to cover the cost of the accounts. Pay yourself your money. It's not real until it's in your account. Alex, what time frame Alex used? Please tell me you told me before I missed it. We're watching a 1 minute, but this is just what we're watching right now. My trade thesis, though, does not come from a 1 minute chart. It comes from higher time frame. How much is activation on a 50K on Apex? I'm not sure. They just relaunched 90% sale again this morning. I'm not sure if those fees have come down. I don't know. I'm sorry. Probably over $100 normally. But yeah, I should say that Apex relaunched 90% sale, so they've put a new sale on. So 90% on Apex. It's still 50% for your first 2 accounts in this window with Lucid right now, using code FZT for both of those. And what else? Take Profit Trader. You have until Sunday with Take Profit Trader to get 50% off using code FlowZone. After Sunday, prices go up. They are not extending it. They've already told everyone they are not extending it. You've got now until Sunday to get 50% off, and you get $100 resets between now and Sunday. Then it changes. The 170 holding on SOXL, it is indeed holding for now. Yeah, it looks very good. What do I think of deep charts? I can't comment. Don't use them. How do we do today? We did pretty good. We could have probably done better. Alex could have done better. I think I got knocked out a few times, but we were buying dips this morning. Someone asking, so we were buying this, and I didn't buy this, but I bought this, I think, for the reclaim, and then we had a couple goes around here, somewhere around here, got knocked out a few times before we finally got it. I missed this part of the move, but I got my target up here. Or did I get knocked out slightly early? It might have been this one, or one of these knocked me out, and then we went again. But yeah, we got the moves we wanted. We were long from here to here. That was the easy move today, was this pocket here. Basically from 100 to 300. There's a 200-point move there, which was the easy money move. Is a short possible when we break previous week point of control? I mean, you'd be shorting into a low volume node above initial balance, which can keep holding. I mean, it doesn't feel like a very good short to me. Not to say it won't work, like, but the way we've built, think about how we've built structure. If you're going to base this out now, all right, you draw it like this, right? So if you get short here, you're looking at this and you'd have to be respecting each of these. So you're not giving yourself a lot of room unless sentiment really shifts. Remember, you're above everything right now. You're above everything right now. So I don't think it's the easiest play of the day, if I'm honest. It's not something that I'd be really focused on. Been trading my own capital, a small $1K. Do you think once I get consistency, I should look for a prop firm? Yeah, I mean, I'd look for a prop firm even before consistency because you'll save yourself money on your errors. What do I think about long here? No. Not for me. Like, it's not a short, but I'm not entering long up here. Like, this grey box is where we chopped for the previous week. We are extended, right? We wanted to buy either pink or recovery of blue, right, for this move to here. This feels risky right now, given that, and this. I don't really want to participate in here. I think it's a death trap for both sides. So for me, I'm not buying in here, personally. I just don't see what the value is. Buying the extension on the day, you're buying near high of the day, you're buying, just double check, you're buying near high of week in fair value from previous week, which you know can do this. I don't see the edge. I don't see the edge. Do I have a coupon for purchase? For what? No, for my stuff. No, there's no discount. Do I take consideration of gamma levels for price discovery? For price discovery, yeah, for sure. That and fibs. But remember, we're not in price discovery now. We're trading inside. Alex, we need order flow course plus Discord option. We're not going to do that, sorry. Because the thing is, you can learn order flow, like we've talked about. Order flow is a way of reading the markets, but understanding the key levels and the dynamics of the market and how it moves is also key. So look, people have asked for it, but it's just, it will cause massive issues within the Discord if people don't understand how the market moves the same way. So we won't be doing that, unfortunately. Because otherwise what you're going to get is people who have done an order flow course and go, oh, there's a trap buyer here, even though it's in a really poor area, and they encourage people to get into trades that they shouldn't get into. That I've seen it time and time and time again in private memberships. Nor would it be fair to those who paid. Yes, absolutely, Pam, you're right there as well. List of indicators I'm using. Flowzone Pro, VWAP, and GEX. That's it. Slow drift higher. Look at SOXL. Still going. Held the 170s. It's looking for 175s and then 180s. That's what it's looking for. Slow drift higher. What value do I get from buying the course or just watch and copy your live trades? Okay, here's real simple. I never turn up again. Do you know how to trade? Do you know how to trade? No? Okay, there's the value, right? I can teach you to fish, or you can try and signal bot. There will be a day when I won't be here anymore. I'm not doing this forever, like I've talked about. I'm old, man. I'm not a teenager on here teaching nonsense. I'm an old boy. At some point, I want to play golf and sit on a boat and smoke a stogie and drink whiskies, and I want that to be my life. I do not want to be on here every day doing this. Here's the chop of the grey box that we just talked about. What's my handicap? Non-existent right now. I haven't played forever, but that's what I want to be doing. That is what I want to be doing. Yeah, cannot do this forever. For a while longer, for sure, but forever, no thanks. All right, 2 minutes till lunch. We still haven't got to 1,000 likes, guys, which is a bit disappointing, to be honest. So probably have to roll over the giveaway for another day. Looks like most people made their money. 1,000 of you jumped off stream as soon as you made your money, as always. You come here for the signals and then they leave. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. POC moving up here now for me as well. What percentage of my students are successful? I don't know. You'd have to ask them. It's not like I speak to them all day, every time. Some do the course and never bother to come into the Discord, which I find amazing. Alex, man, you weren't here on Friday and I got cooked. So I'm sorry to hear that. The guys in my Discord didn't get cooked. I know that much. They traded really well. Trump talking again, is he? That's what you guys are saying. We have a look. Not seeing anything. Questions if Iran will be dealt with or if they will agree to terms. Trump says Iran now respects the US. Okay. Any short for the day? Not right now. I don't see something setting up that nice right now. The way they've built structure, like you could argue, I mean, I'd say this is very risky. You could argue under here or under here, but look at all the support mechanisms. You need a serious shift in tone. You need the chips to let go of 170. I just don't see it. I just see this. This is a slow grind. If anything, we might do this for a while and then wait for NVIDIA. I at the moment don't see it. Remember, What are you looking short to? Is it just because you've missed the long and we've gone up? And you're saying, well, there has to be a short. Well, does there? Like, does there? Because what happens if we base here? If we lose this, you can argue that counter trend short back in. For sure, but it's a very hard, tough trade right now. I really would not be so keen on it. That doesn't mean you'll be long, all right? Being flat is a position. It's absolutely a position. Today I'm requesting my first payout, my first accounts after 3 months watching you, sir. Thank you for your guidance. Nice work, Fury Dude 1. Great work. That's what I love to hear. Good lords, watch 4 streams and didn't make a trade. Just here to listen and learn. That's good. That's a good way to start, mate. Just absorb it. Good way to start. What's your plan for when you get old? Holding stock or taking dividends? Probably a blend of both. Maybe some ETFs. I want to make some investments outside of. I want some investments which are not financially, don't have financial interest as much. So I would like to do something a little bit more creative again on maybe a weekly basis, just where I can turn up and do something. I've got a few ideas with a few friends at the moment. It all depends where I live. All depends where I live. Alex, I passed my Apex account that I won from you. Nice work, Nicole. That's awesome news. What's your guess for the Spurs Everton score on Sunday? Oh, it's a big week, isn't it? I can't see Spurs beating Everton. I can't. So it really depends if West Ham go and do the business or not, doesn't it? Really depends them. Everton are a good team at the moment. They're a tough team. Did we break out of a 4-hour downtrend? I would imagine so. Let's have a look on the 4. Yes. Yes, we did. Everything above 100. Basically what we were looking to hold today. Everything above there is your 4-hour breakout. What's the best strategy for managing 3 funded Lucid Flex accounts for the first time? I usually take 1 to 3 trades per day using 1 to 2 minis. Well, if you're new to using them and you're not consistent, I would not be copy trading them. So I'd be trading them one at a time and rotate them. So if you take 1 to 3 trades, I'd see if you can take 3 trades a day, take 1 trade on the first account, rotate to the second. Trade on the second account, rotate to the third, do the same thing each day. Oh, there's so many questions here. Friday was OPEX, people got cooked. Yeah, for sure. When you buy your courses, the Flowzone Pro indicator, the site you've been working to get approved by NinjaTrader. What? I'm not sure what you're saying there, Haley. Sorry. FK Chicken, we've gone over it quite a few times already, mate. I'm not gonna go over it again. Sorry, buddy. Got cooked today, but back tomorrow. Catch you later, man. World Cup winner? It's going to be the same teams there or thereabouts. France would be there. South American teams would do well because they'd be used to the like heat and humidity. England if they get playing, but I don't really have a whole lot of confidence in them. Spain will be there or thereabouts. Germany always there or thereabouts. Belgium if they turn up, maybe. Netherlands if they turn up, maybe. It's always the same lot. I don't think Portugal would do it. I don't think Portugal would do it this year. Argentina won't do it. I don't see that happening. Italy winning. Yeah, they're not even in it. Not unless Iran get booted out, and I don't see that happening. Harry Kane's on fire. But the thing is, mate, I agree with you. In the Bundesliga, he's been amazing. But every time we get to a big tournament, he has struggled. By the way, there's a 781 lot buy-side delta at 321.5 here. What the fuck? Only just seen that. That's massive. That is massive. Someone's bid very heavily there. Your previous weak point control is different than mine. Little help, please. I don't know what to say, mate. A lot of people say that. Mine are normally done on an hourly. So if you're doing yours on a lower time frame chart, it's probably a bit more accurate than mine. I just do my previous week levels on an hourly, and it's there or thereabouts. You know, I can see on the hourly of the previous week, this node is the node. So somewhere in here is point of control. I think it's at the bottom side, but you can see we're building a big point of control now today in there. So it's somewhere in here. If it's not there, I don't know what to say. It's certainly in there from the previous week. No, Gex on Tanuki updates all the time. Yeah, I think it's every 5 minutes now. We can check if they've got some new ones in. 0DTE. Yeah, so Cool 3 is 350. Does that work? So these should have updated. It's kind of annoying that they haven't manually updated. And every time I do this copy and paste thing, paste into your Tanuki Trade Pro indicator. Let's see. Where do I paste it? There we go. Let's try that. I'm not sure that's changed. There you go. That's the update. Those are the levels. Should be doing it anyway. "15-second scalp, the best strategy." I don't think so. Sorry. I'm couldn't disagree with you more there. Neymar will bring it for Brazil. Again, I don't think so. I reckon he's overrated. Will I do a one-on-one mentorship call? No, I just don't have time, guys. I don't have time. Like, I'm getting asked for so many things at the moment. Will I stream for this company? Will I do this? Will I do this? I'm like, I actually want a life. And the whole reason I got into trading was freedom. And like I say, financial freedom, really what we're talking about is time freedom. I try and get off the charts as much as possible. If I start doing one-on-one mentorship and streaming for this company in lunchtime and streaming this company in the afternoon, I'm already burnt out. I'm going to have no life. And really, I want to spend more time with my wife and my friends than I do on the stream and screens as much as possible. What did I produce? House music. Mainly house music, mate. Just requested my first payout in less than a year of trading futures from Apex. Thank you for being a great teacher. Alex, been here for almost 5 months. Keep up the great work. Oh, nice work. Nice work getting that payout. What NinjaTrader copier do I use? I use affordable indicators. Affordable indicators. What are the C1, C2, C3 levels? They are gamma levels. That's your GEX. That is your GEX levels. All right, they are call walls. If it's C, it's a call wall. If it's P, it's a put wall. All right, so these are targets where you probably find some resistance. Okay, so you can see we found some resistance. This was the big one, and we traded through it. You're starting to lose this node now. All right, so I'm not saying to be short, but just be careful here. If they start to defend this, this can still rotate. Remember, this is the previous week's node. So if you're just focused on today, you won't see it. This is the overlapping level. All right, strength comes above here. I would not be buying this anymore. But if they start to lose this and this, maybe there's a trade down to here, under IB. They can churn this. But for me, it's just to leave alone now and wait for earnings. I think that's going to be the easiest thing to do. What made me stop DJing producing? Well, I've been doing it for well over a decade. I'd had a very, very good career. I'd traveled the world. I'd made good money. I'd made great friends, and I just wasn't really enjoying it anymore. And, you know, I don't want to do something I don't enjoy. And there were other complications. Like I moved to LA 1 week before lockdown. I went back and did a show in Manchester at the Royal Albert Hall. I came back to LA. I was going to go on Australia tour. That got cancelled. My agent passed away from complications of COVID and cancer. That made me not want to do anything. I was getting ready to take over a record label. The person involved with that ended up taking his own life. And I was like, do you know what? I'm fucking done. I'm done. This just got too messy. It didn't fill me with joy anymore. And I got bored of the records as well, mate. Like I got so bored of the records and being in a machine to pump out stuff. So yeah, I backed off. I can enjoy it now. Like now, I still make music now and enjoy it. But I'm not trying to be an artist. I'm not trying to produce music for success. I just like making it for myself in my downtime and sometimes for some other clients. I've got an old school SoundCloud account. Yeah, Tough Love. Tough Love Music will be the SoundCloud account. If you buy the volume and order flow course, no, you don't get Discord with that one, I'm afraid. That's what we went over earlier. Yeah, I mean, look, my business partner still does it for Tough Love. My old business partner, my friend Steph, so he's still going as Tough Love. So we were a Geo, he's just won. Westman, yeah, that was me. Yeah, people often like, oh fuck, that was you. Yeah. Yep. But Steph's still doing it. Do I ever do any weird, noteworthy private parties? Not really, like some after hours stuff, but did I ever work with heavy hitters? I did, not the ones you mentioned, but yes. You're already following. Yeah, there you go. Do I encourage my friends to switch from 9 to 5 to trading? No, I think it's a terrible decision. It's a terrible decision. I think what you should do is build a skill that you can do passively on the side, and until that skill gets big enough to warrant leaving a 9 to 5, you shouldn't do that. I have a WhatsApp with a lot of my friends, and I tell them what to buy and when to buy it for their investment accounts. There you go. Starting to lose that node now. We just talked about it. Look, this node's starting to be sold into. I'm not saying that you should sell it, but you're starting to see this be sold into. There's your previous weak point in control. This now becomes important. If you did take that short, you want to cover some here and cover some here. And if, and only if, you start to make lower highs and get stuck, will you see a rotation underneath all of this. So I'm not interested in doing anything right now. You're going to see like this is probably going to be the counter trend leg, and I don't know where it stops. Does it stop in here? Does it stop in here? Does it stop in here? But this will be the counter trend leg, and they will then probably bid it back up. I just don't know how far or how deep it goes today. And the chips are giving way. They've just sold hard under 170. Right, so into this node here. So if you are short, you want to be covering a good chunk into here, into 60s. And if you lose 60s, you can think about that IB high. And if you lose the IB high, you can think about VWAP. But really, this is a counter trend leg. It can be bought back up, all right? All right, last few questions I'm going to get out of here. Can I play a snippet of my song? I'm not going to do it because then I'll just get banned because Universal Music will come for the money. I don't do any royalty-free stuff, no. You loved my mixes. Thanks, Wasserman. Yeah, there was some good stuff in there back in the day. Kaizen, I'm putting $20 to $50 a week to save to get your course and be a part of the Discord. Don't retire yet there. Not retiring yet, promise you. Thought on scalp strategies to add to Arsenal like an Apex sniper. I mean, scalp strategies are really the same as bigger time frame strategies. Really what you're looking for is traps, and then you're just taking a piece. And like, I guess this, and you're really just taking a piece. Just low vol, high probability moves. Right? But remember, like, some people will love stuff like this. What I'm always interested in is the main move of the day. This is why I become uninterested. I'm interested in the main move of the day. That's what I'm interested in. I'm less interested in, if I hadn't got this, maybe I'd be more interested in this here. Cover some, see if we reject that, if we sell it back down, if we recover, maybe back up. But we got the main move. That's the main job done. If you're short versus up here, you want to be covering a good chunk, and then you can just hold runners. Like we said, 160s, and you can hold runners. If you break 160s, you've got a chance to revisit down here 33s, and if you break 33s, you probably revisit VWAP. But a bid will come in, right? This is the counter trend leg. It's likely that a bid comes back into this market, especially. Yeah, I'd be watching these levels. You're into bull flag territory here where you're at, and you're into 50% into this node at 200. All right, so I'd be watching these levels you're at now. IB range is just the first hour of traded. Should I switch to Lucid from top step? Yeah, I would advise doing that, but each to their own. I think Lucid is probably the #1 firm right now. It's probably the easiest pass, quickest payouts, fairest rules, best tech. Brandon, man, I've got to send you an email and share experiences. I used to be in investment banking and I quit to pursue music, and I produce and DJ too, but went into management and became an awful manager and became a manager. Awful. Oh, so you didn't enjoy management. I mean, it's a tough gig. All right, there's the fail. There's your 60s. Your next cover point down here is 232s. And then VWAP. Do not be aggressive on the shorts. You are counter trend, all right? Pro trend, counter trend. This is higher time frame pullback. Maybe they take it deep and you get lucky, but do not be aggressive in the short. Certainly don't chase it. The short opportunity was up here, leaving this, maybe even leaving this, but I expect a bid to come in at some point soon. SOXL getting weak, it is. It's just wash the stops out. But again, 170 is your over under, right? I'm living in China, and right when I went back to the US, I saw you in Playa. Did you really? Yeah, in my hood. $700 lot buy at 29,321. That's what you're saying. 29,000. That was the guy we talked about earlier. Yeah, there was 780 lot now up there. He's stuck. This guy's stuck. Right, here's your IB. So this is your TP2. So TP1, TP2, and now you just see if you get the IB rotation to VWAP. And I would be very cognizant of them bidding on this very, very soon. What's the best prop firm right now? I'd say it's probably Lucid, mate. It's probably Lucid. And they're 50% off right now as well. You won't get better than that for your first 2 accounts. What age will you stop YouTube trading? When it won't be an age thing, it'll be when I stop enjoying it. Won't be an age thing. It'll just be when I'm done. When I don't want to do it anymore, I won't do it anymore. What's your target wealth for retirement? That's a good question, Jake. It's something I've been looking at a lot recently. Probably, from what I've looked at, you want 5 million cash. 5 million cash with obviously no debt, nothing like that. 5 million cash into a 3.8% account gets you $250,000 a year after tax, 180,000 a year. That's very, very comfortable. And anything above that is a bonus. So that's probably like your exit. The problem is, as you earn more money, your lifestyle changes and you start spending more, and you shift to that lifestyle. So which Lucid accounts? Yes, flex accounts is what I would say. Management is asked, it's just babysitting. Yeah, I mean, I probably can't say. I had some good managers and I had some bad managers. So finding a bid on the IB so far, and they need to recover 60s. So sellers will probably, I'm not even looking at the order flow. Let me just have a look for you guys. I do want to get out of here in a moment. Yeah, big buyer came in at 60s. So sellers will want to defend 60s. If they can defend 60s and the low volume node just above it, they will look to complete the rotation back down to VWAP. All right, so sellers will look to defend these 60s up here. If they reclaim 60s, they will look to trade back into previous week point of control and try and get upside. But sellers starting to take control. You can see at the high of day now, buyers have finally got caught. When one of you asked, would you buy here? And I said, no. Right? And you're starting to see this trade back down. So the trade now, either they do this or they do this and rotate to one of these. And you've got Trump talking, and you're thin because it's lunch. It is thin on lunch. 100 point short. Thank you. Nice work. Nice work. You got short 350. 350 is a little bit early, man. That was a pretty risky trade. The better short was under 310. Alex, I got a real problem with chart clutter. Been following your setup. Do you have one screen for VP stuff? Yeah, exactly. I mean, I use an hourly. You'll see me like move it. So most of my VP stuff is down here. Right, that's my hourly, so I can get a good look. This is what I call God mode, right? This is current week, and previous weeks if we trade into it, right? So this gives me an idea of what the hourly is doing. So I focus on this. This is my 5 minute, so I can get an idea of structure. And then underneath this, or on another screen, I have daily, and on another screen, I have Bookmap, on another screen, I have all the other charts I need to look at. And only once we come into important levels am I then really focused on this. So there's your 60 rejection. We just talked about that. Sellers will want to try and defend 60s. That's your battle. There is a seller up here at 60s. If they reclaim 60s, they will try and squeeze right the way back to 310s. How long would you thinking it would be 50%? It's not, they've already put the time on it, but it's only for your first 2 accounts. So it's a great defense of 60s there, and they will look to trade. Now your targets would be 215s and then 190s. You can just call it 200s. So 215s, 190s, you need to see complete follow through to the downside here. SOXL is coming right back down to 65. So you are seeing this do the move you would have wanted to see, which is great. And I would say, yeah, those 200s are a big level. And then just underneath. So it's good for you guys who got it. Really nice. Really, really nice. All right, I think we're done. I'd stayed an extra 25 minutes to help you guys here and go over some talks. Nice work, everyone. You're jealous because you wanted to be a mainstream artist. Mate, it's not all it's made up to be. I tell you, it's an awful lot of traveling, a lot of lonely nights, a really bad diet, living on no sleep, surrounded by drugs and alcohol, and pressure, a lot of pressure to put out big records all the time. So, you know, grass isn't always greener. That's all I'm saying. The grass isn't always greener. Anyway, right. Peace and love, everyone. I'll see you same time tomorrow, and we go again, right? Happy hump day. Be careful. Remember, you've got 2 o'clock today. You've got the FOMC minutes, and then you've got NVIDIA earnings tonight. Please, 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 please be careful. Use hard stops. Peace and love. And I look forward to trading with you tomorrow morning. Those in Discord, I'm going to take a little break now, and then I'll come straight back, and we'll see what sets up this afternoon, and I'll help you. All right. See you in a bit.